And we are live. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Alien Spaceship stream. You can be watching from anywhere around the country or the world. And I really appreciate every single one of you coming to you from the Spaceship Studios from a galaxy far, far away. And here we go. We'll be switching over to the other window. Right here. Let's go. Here. This way. Oh, yeah. Alright. Alright, hello. It is I, Alien Spaceship. I hope everybody's been having a good day, good evening, wherever you are. And we will be talking about the boyfriend beheading murder trial. Tonight we'll be doing a review on it. And what I will do as we start off, we are going to, as we have people come through, we are going to do the game while we have people come through, and then we'll talk about it and get more into it during the stream. Alright, let's go here. Okay, let's do this. Alright, now the game is loading. Yeah, so today was a very plot twist today with the trial, because what looks like is that game going on or not? Yeah, it looks like it crashed. But anyway, so it is the ex-wife of Baker from the Sementelli trial. And she, as I said, that was a plot twist I wasn't expecting to occur. Because, we know about Monica's trial. And then now this is happening. Yeah. So this is certainly a trial that we have been waiting for quite a while. I think that it's going to be a very good case where we'll see if it's guilty or innocent. And some people, it's a new concept, so people are still going to be wondering, is it a trial that's going to be guilty or not guilty? Some people are undecided. Some people think it's guilty. So when you have a new trial where there's more ambiguity around if they're innocent or guilty, that is always a cool story, because a lot of the times they're quite straightforward guilty. But this one isn't as straightforward with what people think. So yeah. Now, let's see, the game is loading. If we're going to do the game, it will be loading. I don't know if it's going to be coming on or not, but we'll see. Okay, and let's go here, this way. Hello there, Rita. Good evening. It's nice to see you. Yeah, the game isn't really loading. And then we have Moki right here. Good evening to you. Where is everyone? I just told my husband about the trial, and he's like, what the F? He's like, what the fuck? Yeah. Yeah, I mean, this trial is something... Yeah, we're here. Yeah, they're here. Some new people came to the channel. I don't know if they're going to join us, but they did come to the channel, which was something cool. So thank you, Moki, for the shout-outs. And we will get more people from that chat over here, certainly, because they were interested. I did walk away for a moment right before it left, where there's a sauce. When the lady, there is Little Angel, she was interested in the channel because I was telling her it was a trial chat channel. Like, that's what we do lives about. We don't really talk. We talk about all kinds of things because she was wondering about aliens, but she would sub to me. So maybe she subbed or not, but if she hasn't yet, she'll come at some point. And some of them did come here. So I want to thank you all for the channel shout out over there as we have more people come through here. All right. Yeah, this trial is something else. It's like a sequel to the Sementelli trial. Yeah, and then there was this scene where the opening part of it, there was this. Ah, okay. Understood. Okay, Moki. I usually do that while people come through, but y'all are here, so I'll do that instead. Okay. Alrighty. Let's go back this way. Alright. Yeah, the Baker connection is crazy indeed. Yes. Yeah, and the day one of the Devine Michaels murder case refers to an emotional pre-trial hearing on July 17, 2025, where Devine Michaels withdrew her guilty plea to a second-degree murder and asserted her innocence in 2023. Oh, you're still processing it, Aaron. Yeah, well, yeah. Innocent in 2023, the death and decapitation of her ex-boyfriend, Jonathan Willett. So, yeah, we've seen a lot of crazy trials, and this is certainly a crazy situation where you have a beheading. And to make it clear, the beheading happened after the person was murdered. It didn't happen during the murder. That's something to make clear because people were wondering about that in the chat. Yes, Smokey. I remember you talking about the ex being charged with murder. Yes. As I said, these people are just pure evil that are involved in these kind of things. And, like in a way unrelated, but related, is that Baker, his ex-wife is involved in this. But of course, these people are just sick like that, and two of a kind will flock together. So that is something he will, she did, yeah. So I just think that it's really a big processing of this type of situation. It really it left me speechless at first because when y'all were saying in the chat that it was connected with Baker, I said, this is not only a sequel because of we live in a sleazy world. Right. With the Tellis trial, and in the Tellis trial, there is a thing that occurred where, yeah, that's like the same courtroom where Tellis was. It's Tellis's attorney that was with him in his trial, and now it's not only Tellis's attorney, but now it's Monica's lover's ex. So yeah, this is like a movie. It's like some of this stuff you just can't make up. It's fiction. Truth is stranger than fiction. I remember Baker getting so but when they brought up her name. Oh, right. Yeah, because they were bringing up her name a lot, and someone's name, and he was getting very triggered and wanted her involved in it. Oh, hello, Dwayne. Good evening to you. Welcome. The son's alibi seems like a prime suspect. And let's go here. Yeah, I mean, a lot of times these people come up with the most ridiculous ones. Now, let's see this. There is no indication. Now, so far, there doesn't seem to be information about that, Mogi. At the moment, as far as I can see. It doesn't mean there is one. By the way, good to see you, Dwayne, if I didn't tell you that already. So, yeah, there's not information about that from what that I know of or can find at the moment. Isn't she the one that kind of lured into the corn? Oh, into the cornfield. Right. Baker's gross and hideous, but somehow got those women ill. Yeah, yeah. All right. So there's no indication in the available information that Jonathan Willett's son has been named as a suspect or a person of interest by law enforcement. In this case, Devin Michaels is the sole person charged with the murder. And you missed the state opening statement. Yes. Okay. Devin Michaels was married to Willett's son at the time of the murder, a situation she described as non-intimate marriage of convenience for medical reasons. So it seems like a situation where people are using one another for a situation. That's what it seems like to me. I don't know if it was done out of genuine love. Yeah, and certainly, yeah, the opening statements, that's something we could examine. Definitely. All right. And, today there is a scene where, in the opening, something happened in the first part. They were showing some stuff they were allegedly not supposed to show on YouTube. They were showing some, like, nudity, not nudity, but kind of like someone like in a bathing suit, it looked like. And she was Kathy Rusin was very triggered about that being shown, and they made a second live stream because they were saying YouTube could have messed them up over it. So that was why the original one was taken down. And yeah, sometimes with YouTube, they have policies with certain things that can be shown, especially with copyright stuff. They always, like, you'll get like a copyright notice before something happens. You know, they'll always, so YouTube has some regulations on it. It was nudity? Okay. All right. Understood. It was full on Deke. Okay, thank you, chat. Thank you, chat. All right, and Michael said they show the son husband on the bed naked and upright position. Okay, thank you, chat. And I had to have seen it because I was watching it, so I don't know. So yes, I thank you, chat, for clarifying exactly what happened, because I saw it, but I must have missed out that part. But although I was watching it, for some reason I must have, I don't know. Anyway, so thank you for clarifying exactly what it was. It was shocking and hilarious. Okay. All right. Elaine said, we all need therapy after the PP incident. Oh. Right. Right. Dwayne said, hit the like, please, for Alien Spaceship. Thank you, everyone. Take care. See you all next time, chat. Okay, thank you, Dwayne. Thank you. So there was nudity. There was a scene of nudity where... Oh, I must have seen it for a split second and not realize what I was looking at. Because I was watching it, and I know chat was getting grossed out. Hello there, Sharon. Good to see you. Welcome to the spaceship. It was only 2 seconds. The camera operator panned away like he was struck by lightning. Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. Because as I said, I saw it for a split second, and I must have not have completely registered it. So that must be what the situation was. Because I know the chat was really grossed out, and everyone was like freaking out. And like, I remember I saw a few seconds of something, but that must be what it was. All right. Scared. Oh, Moki said I wouldn't say I was grossed out. Oh. Yeah, you were joked out. Yeah, I remember you were laughing. You thought it was funny. Yes, cheers, Sharon. Sean. Posh Sean, yes. because his dad was going to take him wonder why YouTube cut that out. Oh yeah, yeah, okay. Yeah, I know, right, Joyce? It's just with YouTube, they do have these situations where they'll cut out certain things where sometimes they shouldn't cut something out, but they do. It depends on their different regulations of what they think is right for the platform, which a lot of times people don't agree on how it's done. Right. So thanks for chat for clarifying that to me. I had to have seen. Of course, I was there. I saw it, but it was just real quick. Okay. Is all right. And Elaine said, I was a career for 18 years doing personal inmate care. I seen so many sausages. I became desensitized. No idea why YouTube is such a frigid snowflake. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, YouTube's policies are very strict, and even with copyright, like I'll be playing a scene of something. Sometimes there'll be it won't hurt the channel, but there's copyright. They'll say that the copyright holder says they got this on the stream, blah blah blah, and the nudity. Yeah, the reason why they do this stuff also is they don't want to be sued, and when they get sued, that is what they're concerned about. So that's why they put these regulations there, and they have advertisers, and the advertisers maybe don't like it. Yeah, that is. But yeah, it would be like with the older trials. It would be interesting to see everything that is being displayed. I think it's good for evidence and proof and stuff. But yeah, YouTube certainly would have messed them up over that. Yeah. Yeah, so we can rewatch the openings while we chat. Yes. Let's bring up our handy dandy window. Let's see. Let's go here. Let's see if they put this up. Okay, part one is where is part one? Yeah, they're not. I don't see anything of the opening statements right now. Mm-mm. There's additional photos from the grandma murder trial, shocking details from murder grandma's autopsy, and there's some Brian Koberger stuff. He looks like a demon. He really looks like a demon, Brian Koberger. Wow. And the live streams, it is part two for the boyfriend beheading trial and the whole trial for the teen lover murder trial. So it looks like they have not reposted the opening statements yet for that trial. No. I believe they will at some point. I'll be checking it to see if it changes. Okay, watch from when she withdrew her plea deal. Okay, well, let's look for that one. Let's go here. Go this way. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Linda. Emotional leads withdraw plea deal and burning beheaded case. Emotional output. Okay. Okay, we're gonna look for that one right now. I'll just kind of that open another window. All right, yeah. So in this, okay, everyone's here. Yeah, okay, okay. She has a meltdown in court. We're going to switch over to this window and show you. Seems pretty short. I mean, it doesn't matter if it wasn't short, but we'll. This is a clip from it. All right, let's go this way. Make sure it's all working. Make sure that this is shut off. Right there. Okay, Moki, post the link for me. Post the link for me. We'll see how this goes. Let's see.
This.
All right.
It's just, this wouldn't be appropriate.
I completely understand.
Let's go to trial.
All right.
Okay, don't use that one.
A woman who pled guilty.
Oh yeah, Moki, give me the link. Give me the link. Yes. Let's go this way. I haven't actually properly seen the defendant yet. Maybe we'll get a view here. Yes. All right, let's see what this defendant looks like. Right now on the screen. All right, this is the defendant, emotional. Y'all be able to see it in a moment because I'll get myself out the way. All right, thank you. All right, that's her being emotional. This is her without the prison part. That was like her before. Okay. And that's a mugshot right here. And I'm going to play it in a moment. All right, thanks, Smokey. All right, now this way.
A woman who pled guilty to killing her ex-boyfriend now says she didn't do it and will go to trial to prove her innocence. Devin Michaels appeared in a court today for a sentencing hearing, but will now go to trial instead. She previously pled guilty to the murder and decapitation of her ex-boyfriend, Jonathan Willett. Willett's mother found his body in a bed at the home near Windmill Parkway in Pecos in the Southwest Valley. This happened back on August 7th in 2023. Michaels spoke in the courtroom today, claiming her innocence and apologizing to the family.
I'm so sorry, but I didn't do this, and I didn't know this would end up like this. I really didn't, and I will forever apologize to the family. But I don't know how to fix any of this anymore.
Michaels' guilty plea has been withdrawn and the case will now move forward to trial. She will now face a first-degree murder conviction. Her attorney stepped down and she will be assigned a new one. The trial is set for July 31st.
All right. And let's see here. That's not true. It's actually this. Let's go here. Let's just put all that. Yeah, so that was her revoking the plea deal. Yeah, she's upset she got caught. Yeah. Copy that. Put this here. See what I can find. See, that's not anything. How very odd. Sounded like a confession to me. I guess we're just going to have to pretend it didn't happen. Right. Right. So, yeah, the opening statement's not. Let's see. Is this some? This is from 2 months ago. And if y'all don't want to see this, it's fine. There's this trial date set for woman accused of cutting off boyfriend's head. Alright. We'll see about this right here. This was from a couple of months ago. Like, this is like when the motions were set for it. And if y'all want to see something else, when I click this, we could look at something else. Alright, let's see this.
Yes, unfortunately. Yeah, OCPD and he's not going nowhere. Not going very well. Nobody's still on here with the last murder, huh? All right, cool.
Mark, you know that airplane you mentioned?
How is it? No, we're just gonna in Goldfield? Yeah.
Couldn't remember. I looked at the pictures. I was like, oh,
There is an airplane right there.
it's like in the
An abandoned like Cessna, like sitting there on the side of the road.
No, we sort of
Like right outside of the
I go there and try it.
You wouldn't know where the brothels are.
I know things. I know things. No, there's a sign. There's a plane and then there's a sign. Oh yeah. I used to make that drive like multiple times a year. Up north. Not to the brothel.
For the record.
I actually like that drive. People get really down on it because there's a whole lot of nothing, but I kind of think it's cool.
If you're in meditation, it's fine. Otherwise,
I told her that. She's going, God,
Like
you're
a
supposed to
better
work with that. I'm like,
get nothing but good. Billy says to start.
you're coming to the sentencing today, or are you just doing the work?
All right, Mr. Patrick, oh, we need Mr. Leventhal. As soon as he gets here, I'll call you.
Oh, okay.
Mr. Meningo, you're arguing information by affidavit. I'm gonna wait.
Yeah.
Do a couple other cases. Mr. Troiano, you custody. Mr. John Smith, Mr. Horvath are here on her behalf. Mr. Giordani is here on behalf of the state. This is the date and time set for appointment of counsel. Mr. John Smith, are you able to confirm as the attorney of record?
yes.
Okay, and will it be you and Mr. Horvath?
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Justice, I indicated to Ms. Bush that I wanted to move this case and I wanted to set it for trial. Are you guys prepared to set the trial today?
We are.
Did you have any discussions with Mr. Giordani about when you wanted it set?
Yeah, we briefly discussed it. Mr. Horvath mentioned October, November this year. I can't do November. I can do October. Otherwise, it would have to be.
Alright, let's see what this is about.
On page 6, C 377239, State of Nevada versus Devin Michaels. May the record reflect that Ms. Michaels is present in custody. Ms. Patrick is here on her behalf. Mr. Giordani and Ms. Griffith are here on behalf of the state. This is the date and time set for sentencing. Are both parties prepared to go forward?
Yes, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor.
All right, state, this is a stipulated sentence. Anything you want to add?
I do just a couple of things, Judge. First, we have 3 victim speakers. I asked that they
Yes, that is very fascinating indeed. Posh. Absolutely. Pash. I'm gonna say Sean. That's better. Exactly, Sean. I agree. Here's video of the plea deal withdrawal, and oh my, we need to rewatch. Yes, we need to rewatch it. She looks cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Right, she's lucky because whatever I get Skittles, I get the majority bogging lemon flavor. Yeah, judge does talk fast indeed. Yeah. Okay, here we go.
permitted me speak last.
Okay.
We obviously went to a settlement conference. We stipulated this sentence. I think that the life tale reflects the gravity and the haunting nature of the facts. As you know, the defendant not only murdered her ex, but then desecrated his body by decapitating him and putting chemicals on his body, causing it to burn. The defendant admitted to the fatal blow. She never admitted to the decapitation portion, but the evidence was overwhelming that it was obviously her who did it. Another haunting fact, and something that should be concerning, which supports the life tale, is that the defendant had a corollary child abuse case that pre-existed this. We reviewed, Ms. Griffith and I reviewed the minutes in that case, and it appears that 2 days after she murdered and decapitated her ex, she appeared in court in front of another judge in this courthouse and made representations that she was staying out of trouble, and obviously had that on her conscience at the time, walked right back out of the courthouse, and then ultimately was developed as our suspect and arrested. We take this case very seriously, obviously the family does as well. We believe the sentence reflects the gravity of the crime, so we will submit it. We do have some updates on CTS, which was wrong in the PSI.
Correct. I calculated the credit at 455 days as of today.
Okay, that sounds correct.
Because I calculated it in regards to she was on probation when this offense occurred. She then got that sentence imposed. She was released on that sentence, so she started accumulating the credit on that day. And I have it at 455 days as of today.
Yes, and we also have restitution requests. We've now received documentation.
Actually, I not received documentation.
Right, we just received it this morning. We showed it to Mr. Patrick. It's supposed to be $5,000 to VOC.
I have that.
$1,923 to James Willett.
Hold on just one minute. $1,923?
Yes.
To who?
James Willett.
Okay.
And $2,500 to Yoko Willett.
How do you spell the first name?
Y-O-K-O.
Okay. Mr. Patrick, have you seen this?
I have, Your Honor.
Okay, what's your position in regard to the restitution?
They had the documentation, we're okay with it.
Okay, State, I'm gonna need you to file that documentation. Because pursuant to the new case law, I can't order restitution without documentation.
Yes, ma'am.
All right? Ms. Michaels, what, if anything, would you like to say before I pronounce sentence against you?
There's so much I want to say. Jonathan was very special, very unique, and I know no matter what I say at this moment, I know right now no one in the family is going to believe me. I know right now no one in the family feels that I am innocent at any point, and I understand that, but I can actually prove my innocence. I actually can, and I'm not going to stop fighting to prove my innocence. I have more than enough, and Jonathan deserves to have the actual person who's guilty behind bars. I was helping Jonathan. I can show that I was trying to help him, and this I know is hurting the family, and I can see it in your faces, and I know your hearts are angry, and they should be, and I'm angry for you. And this is not fair to you. This has been dragging out for almost 2 years. It's not fair to you. And it's not fair to his children, any of them. And it's not right. It really isn't. It's not. I've seen...
Yeah, she seems very crazy. And she looks completely insane. Like, her eyes are very nutty. And what I mean by this is, I could see where people are talking about, she doesn't seem like there's something right. Of course, it's a stressful situation, but yeah, I could see where it's like scared. Amen, Moki. I agree. All right, let's continue.
So much that it's just terrible. The way that they manipulated and altered and deleted things is wrong. They should not be able to do it, and they have. And for you to be able to look me in the eye knowing that the things are altered and
You pled guilty, man.
Ms. Michaels, you are not to address the state. You are to address me.
addressing
You are.
the state. I
You're addressing Mr.
apologize.
Giordani. You are going to address me. What do
My
you want me to
apologies.
say? What do you want to say to me?
my apologies. I wasn't trying to address the state directly. It's just, I was told. I was just told one thing after another, and I truly believed that we were going to do the right thing, and it just didn't happen. I am so sorry for all of this, but I am so sorry. But I didn't do this, and I didn't know this would end up like this. I really didn't. And I will forever apologize to the family. But I don't know how to fix any of this anymore. I don't. I keep listening to what everyone tells me is the best thing to do. Just do this and it'll work out this way, and follow this advice and we'll do this. And I keep listening to the people because they keep saying this is the best advice. It doesn't turn out the way they tell me it will. And it just gets worse and worse. And I don't know what to do anymore.
Judge, I'm not comfortable with this record. I'm willing to let her out of her plea if the court is inclined.
I don't know how to fix this.
All right.
It's just, this wouldn't be appropriate.
I completely understand.
Let's go to trial.
Yeah, it's good she had, and welcome Fifi, welcome to the spaceship. All right, and Pash says, I don't know how to relate to her communication style. I guess it's good she has a lawyer. Yeah, because I think she probably would be similar to Brooks. Probably. Like, Darrell Brooks. Although, because she seems like, yeah, the communication skills, if she was trying to convey something, she certainly needs the attorney to help with that. Yeah. Crazy indeed. Yeah, I do not believe her either. Another way you could tell about this is that she's not really, like, admitting guilt in the sense that she was wrong and this is why she did it. Just basically talking about the circumstances, and I think, in my opinion, just she's having a pity party over it. See, that's how you can tell. It's not even about what they're saying. It's also about what they're not saying. That's also a factor. Like, what they don't say and what they do say. And, yeah, just, and the frantic emotions isn't authentic either. Her lawyer running out of the court like a champion greyhound has me crackling. Cackling. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Brooks and her would make a good pair. Yes. And Moki said, yo, I'm not sure the sun didn't do it so far. Okay, understood, Moki. Thank you for your take on this. Yeah, we will see what the truth is as it comes out. There's also I redact my statement. I will continue.
Giordani? All right. Ms. Michael Johnstown, Mr. Giordani says that he's willing to let you out of your plea and he's willing to try this case. And you understand that he's willing to try this case on an open murder. So a jury can convict you of a first-degree murder. Do you understand that? Or do you want to talk to Mr. Patrick about it?
I don't want to talk to Mr. Patrick. He didn't listen to anything I said.
Miss Michaels, I need you to understand what I'm saying to you and answer my question.
Yes.
Do you want to withdraw your plea and go to trial?
Yes, please.
All right. This plea is going to be withdrawn. Mr. Patrick, I need you to have some discussions with your client
Your
about...
Honor, I move to withdraw at this time. This case needs to go back to the appointed counsel.
Yeah, I'm not... Yeah, this is just a really this really is a type of a fascinating situation where you have her really, really deep emotion about this, but it doesn't. It's like she's acting like she won something, but the trial part really isn't really the best outcome either that could possibly happen. So I don't quite. She has caused me confusion about her reaction. All right. Pash says the speedy judge combined with confused defendant isn't a good mix. Yeah, that is true. When you have a confused defendant and the judge that is speedy, it's, two things happening at once. There's a slower movement in one party, and then the other party is very quick, and then the emotions are very high, and the rational decisions may not be made in this. So, yes, that is true. It's not the best combination. That's why another reason it's giving off some perplexity. Yes. Judges like few nutter we're moving on. This is a poop show. Yeah. It's okay. Judge should have put her in 20-day psych eval had another hearing. Oh, I certainly think that would have helped. I mean, with Brooks, for instance, to make a reference to him, with Brooks, he certainly was, I feel, not competent at all, and he just made a fool of himself. And he was allegedly competent to stand trial, and this one is allegedly competent. Yeah, certainly evaluation would be needed. And yeah, her illogical behavior was, maybe she shouldn't have been in that type of addressing the judge, stuff like that. I don't think this really went well for the most favorable outcome. Now we'll continue. Well, I mean, to be in front of the judge, I would assume she would have had to have had one, and they said she was good to go. But I guess someone could be mentally sane. I don't know what their definition of being mentally sane is. I mean, people that would do this in the first place probably wouldn't be the most sanest person. So I guess it's all subjective to like how people interpret it. But there must be like an emotional intelligence scale that they could do. Like, Darrell Brooks could have been sane, but his emotional outbursts, including this one, is not... they're not able to control their emotions. It might be a separate spectrum of thought that they're running by, which is the emotional outburst. So, yeah. And thank you, Moki, for the link. Okay. And with this, let's see if there's anything else here.
Miss Michaels, hold on just 1 second. Miss Michaels, you need to conduct yourself like this is a courtroom. If you cannot do that, then they're going to remove you because I still have business to conduct. Yes. Do you understand? Mr. Patrick?
Judge, respectfully, I move to withdraw.
Brooks needed a judge like this. Shout out to Judge Doro. She was great, but still, see, she wasn't going to tolerate with this type of behavior.
Have this case sent back to Office of Appointed Counsel. I am not in a position to accept appointment on this case should it go to trial at this time.
All right. I'm going to have to reach out to the Office of Appointed Counsel and get her a lawyer that's going to be appointed with the understanding this case is 2 years old. This case is not going to sit stagnant and wait and wait.
And Moki says the judge seems harsh to you. Yes. I see what you mean. Yes, the judge is, yes, rough indeed. So her lawyer quit. Right, and then she got a new lawyer. Right. And chat says that she is too harsh on the defendant. Right. And yeah, she certainly, Duro probably would have been much more, laid back with this defendant than this individual. Yeah, because emotions can be high. Yeah, the lawyers ran quickly because she accused him of not listening to her. Okay. Hey, thank you, chat. I appreciate the commentary as we continue.
Wait around for a trial. So I'm going to reach out to Ms. Bush myself and have a discussion with her in regards to the appointment of counsel because this is not going to be, this case has been delayed extensively, and this case is not going.
Yeah, the judge is getting agitated, and the judge needs to be more stoic. And the defendant is not being in the sense with like Brooks, like how she just seems upset, where Brooks is being mean. So yeah, I see where y'all coming from. And she's very like what Pash said, that judge is very quick with things, and maybe there's lack of patience. Okay, and Joyce says, but at the same time, I can understand why the judge acted like that. Okay. Just the way our judge read the partial jury instructions, I felt that. Okay. Thank you. Chat.
To further be delayed so that there is no justice for everybody.
Yes, Your Honor.
And, Your Honor, if I may, that's one of the other reasons, because with Barry Edwards, it would be late next year before I would even consider putting this on as a trial.
So I'll reach out to Ms. Bush.
Understood.
July 31st, 9 a.m.
And, Your Honor, do you grant my motion to withdraw, please?
Yes, I'm going to grant your motion to withdraw.
Thank you.
All right, Pash, thank you for your take on this. She says they haven't shown anything that links directly to her yet, okay? Elaine said she did it 100%. Okay, thanks for the opinions. All right. All right, next link.
A woman convicted of cutting off a man's head and throwing it in the trash could be out of prison in as little as 15 years. We are breaking down this plea agreement that shocked the victim's family members, and we're going to break it down with a retired judge. Welcome to Sidebar, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Jesse Weber. Police in the Las Vegas suburb of Henderson, Nevada, say 46-year-old Devin Michaels attacked the father of her children, killing him, and then cut off his head. 46-year-old Jonathan Willett's mother found his body at his home more than a week after he was last seen. He was lying in bed without his head, and his body was actually smoking. Investigators believe that was from chemicals that Michaels had poured onto his body, possibly to cover up evidence. There were empty bottles of cleaner that were apparently found on the floor at the crime scene. Authorities say Michaels actually took Jonathan's head back to her own home before she put it in the trash. Prosecutors say it's believed that local garbage collectors unknowingly took the trash bag containing Jonathan's head, and at the time of this recording, that head has still never been found. Pretty graphic to talk about, but I do have to give you a little background on this family because it's complex, to say the least. So Devin Michaels and Jonathan Willett, they had apparently been dating on and off for quite some time. They have 2 young daughters together, but Jonathan also had an adult son from a previous relationship, and Michaels ended up marrying him. Yeah. So in a way, he was both her stepson and her husband. It's complicated, I know. Now, they had all been planning to move in together, this is according to prosecutors, allegedly to make things more normal for the young girls. Jonathan's son reportedly told investigators that he and Michaels had gotten married so he could, quote, help her with her medical issues, but what exactly that might mean, it's unclear. Then we fast forward to August 15th, 2023. Henderson police arrest Michaels, and she is charged with Jonathan's murder. Now, Michaels reportedly told police that Jonathan was abusive, that he had tried to force her to perform a sex act on him, so she hit him in the head with some sort of stick. And a police report indicates that she told police that she didn't intend to kill him. She just wanted to hurt him enough that he would have to go to the hospital and she could figure out what she could do with her children. But that doesn't really explain why Michaels cut off Jonathan's head and poured chemicals like ammonia and bleach on his body. Well, Jonathan's mother reported to police that when she found her son's body, a meat cleaver was missing from the kitchen. Jonathan's keys, wallet, bloody cell phone were reportedly found at Michael's place. And here's where things take another strange turn in an already bizarre and macabre story. Just days after Michaels killed Jonathan, but before his body was discovered, she was in court on another case. So Michaels, who also goes by Tracy Tavares, was dealing with a child abuse case under that name. She was accused of abuse after her 8-year-old daughter had told a teacher that her mother had given her a whooping. Now, Michaels spoke at that court hearing. Let's hear what she had to say.
I've done counseling classes, therapy, drug tests, psych evaluations. I've done everything. And everyone I've spoken to say I'm not an abusive person and they don't feel there's any risk for me to abuse her or would ever do this again.
So the judge ended up sentencing Michaels to 1 year of probation. But you know what happens? Michaels ends up back in front of that same judge a year later, entering into a plea deal for Jonathan's murder. She pleads guilty to a second-degree murder charge, and according to Nevada sentencing guidelines, she could face a sentence of up to life in prison, but she would have a chance of parole in just 15 years. The judge will have the final say at a sentencing hearing at the end of October. And for that, I want to talk about this a little bit more. I want to bring on retired New York City Judge Matthew Sciarrino to talk more about this. Judge, thank you so much for coming back here on Sidebar. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Nice to be here.
Now, before I talk about what the judge may or may not do here, just your overall reaction, impression to a case like this?
I think this has a bit to do with television and how to get away with murder and those other type shows. I think she made an attempt based on what she heard and felt to try to cover up this particular murder now that she's pled guilty with same. I also think that the convoluted nature of the family and the alleged abuse allegations are probably what prompted the plea deal and the prosecutors offering such a plea deal. Because as you know, prosecutors, when it's a very messy type of situation and family dynamic, they're a little bit worried that the jury might take that out on the victim, the person who was murdered, and give a kind of say a pox on everybody type of verdict. So I think a secure plea deal was the better way to probably handle this case in the prosecutor's minds.
Just to clarify that, are you saying that she might have been able to mount a defense here? Because the evidence looked pretty damning against her, no?
Evidence very much damning, but I also think that with a possible allegation of spousal abuse, she might be able to negate or mitigate some of the sentencing with regards to the case. And probably that would have been what the defense was, because spousal abuse in this type of case would be very, very common.
Hey, so I'm going to take a guess and say that a lot of you who watch Sidebar might be business owners, maybe even thinking of starting a little side hustle. Well, if that's the case, I want to talk to you about our amazing sponsor, Odoo. So Odoo is a free all-in-one business management software that provides you with a range of applications that helps with the day-to-day of owning a business. Now, as some of you might know, I'm the host and executive producer of a very popular YouTube show called Prime Crime. It's on our Law and Crime page. So this is like managing a business, and I want you to watch this. Say if we ever charge for Prime Crime, and to be clear, we have no plans to do that, so don't worry, I could seamlessly and for free build a Prime Crime website with Odoo and put a built-in checkout page on the website with very little effort. Monthly subscriptions, it's even easier. Look how easy that was. 5 minutes later, I now have primecrime.com. So thank you to Odoo for sponsoring Sidebar, and thank you for getting me a Prime Crime website. You can build your website now. Domain is free for the first year when you use our link odoo.com/LC-Sidebar. I've actually seen cases before where someone is accused of murder and dismembering or getting rid of a body, and the jury would believe that they panicked, that it wasn't necessarily a premeditated murder. They killed them whether it was manslaughter or it was an accident or whatever it might be. And they might find them guilty of, with respect to abuse of a corpse or the disposing of the body or tampering with evidence, but they might actually find them not guilty of the murder. So there is a chance that could have happened. But I am curious, just the idea from a human point of view, I mean, it always shocks me that someone has the ability to chop a body up like this, cut someone's head off, somebody, the father of your children, somebody you had an intimate relationship with, to cut the head off their body? I mean, that's just so disgusting and sick, but unfortunately, we see these cases.
Yeah, it's beyond macabre. I mean, it's how, picturing yourself trying to do some of those acts. I'm a vegan, so I really can't even picture doing that to animals. And it's one of the reasons, after watching movies, etc. I've been a vegan now for 8 years, watching the farm factories and just the slaughter of pigs and cows, and so to do that to a fellow human being is beyond my understanding. That being said, I unfortunately have been in the court situations where those were the allegations and those were the pictures and those are the things that you're showing to a jury. And I'm sure that the pictures in this case that were taken by the evidence collection team would have been quite a lot for the jurors to handle.
And that's probably also why prosecutors were like, if we can avoid a trial, we can avoid a jury seeing this, we can avoid prosecutors having to present this, we can avoid the victim's family members from having to be exposed to this. There's an advantage for them to try to have a plea deal in this case, right?
Absolutely, and maybe it's because from New York, I don't consider a 15 years to life sentence to be particularly light. And she very much will. The parole board in Nevada, I have a feeling, is probably pretty strict. And so even though she might be eligible in 15 years, doesn't mean that she's going to necessarily be paroled. Additionally, how much of a danger to the community is she? She apparently only picks on the people that are closest to her, as opposed to, strangers at large. So, 15 to life is a pretty, it's not that light a sentence in my mind.
Well, let's talk about that. Let's amplify that. Assuming she only serves 15 years, good behavior, rehabilitated, circumstances of the killing, someone would look at that and say, she murdered this guy and she chopped his head off, and the head, maybe in 15 years, the head would be recovered, but it doesn't seem like it's going to be recovered. I mean, someone would say that seems like a lenient sentence.
And if she commits something else, guaranteed people will criticize the judge for giving such a light sentence with regards to the case. If she has no further issues with the criminal justice system, it probably will go unnoticed that she received such a light sentence.
But what are some of the factors that would work in her favor in terms of being released in 15 years, and what would be some of the factors that would work against her?
The being a good prisoner, in that if she takes rehabilitative courses, maybe she gets a degree in something while she's in prison, if such programs are offered, if she's part of a therapy program, her acceptance of responsibility is a great factor with regards to mitigation. All of those are taken into account by the parole board when they make the determinations as to whether or not to release the person, whether the parole board feels that they are a danger to the community that they are going to be released to, whether she has a program set up. Generally, it's a release to some kind of halfway house initially, where you'll have to find employment and make sure that you're no further risk to come back to the criminal justice system. Also, I would imagine that there's a degree of parole supervision, which will result in her having to check in regularly. She might have to confine to house arrest for a particular period of time while on parole, or some kind of drug program, or any of those things that the parole board feel in the particular case are needed to the court system.
In these kinds of cases, would she ever be permitted contact with her children again if she's released?
In 15 years, they won't be children anymore. So I think at that point, it would be up to whether or not her current children then will be young adults, want to have that communication with her. But if she has young minor children, I doubt there would be unsupervised visitation. She probably will have the right while in prison to have some kind of supervised contact with the children, so that the bond is kept while she's in prison. But there'll definitely not be any unsupervised visitation or contact with any minor children that I could foresee.
And Judge, if you don't know the answer to this, completely fine. But if she's denied parole, if you don't know Nevada law on this, but generally speaking, when would somebody have another opportunity to make parole?
Yeah, I don't know the specifics of Nevada. If you're denied parole, you are entitled to a hearing, and you can, just like anything else, appeal that decision to whatever setup is in that particular state. In New York, it would enter into the court system, where a court might say that the decision of the parole board was arbitrary and capricious, and therefore overturn that parole board's decision. So you would be able to immediately appeal it. You generally come up for other times 2 to 5 years, depending on the state.
By the way, and I can't confirm this, but if a family, if a victim's family member is opposed to a plea deal, if they're opposed to that sentence, if they, say, look, 15 years to life, this is not what we wanted, how much say does a victim's family members have in terms of a deal being worked out?
They clearly will have the ability to address their displeasure to the judge at the sentencing. It generally still can be done over the victim's family's objection, because the law in our country basically, why it's the people of the state of New York or the people of the state of Nevada against the person. The government is in control of the particular situation. Some states have stronger victim rights laws than other states. Some states, and almost every state at this point that I know of, does have the prosecutor must inform the victim's family of any plea deal. But they still are permitted in most states to, even over that objection, bring that deal to the court, and the court can of course factor that in. And in some states, the plea is worked out beforehand, where you know exactly what you're going to be sentenced to. And in other states, there's still a bit of discretion to the court. In the federal courts, if you take a plea deal, you get certain mitigating factors for taking that plea deal, but the ultimate sentence is still 100% in the realm of the judge. In other states, the sentence itself is fully negotiated before you're even going to take a plea deal. It looks like Nevada, the judge does have some room with regards to what the sentence is going to be. So the victim's family, if they wish to make a victim impact statement, or just say that they're displeased and want the person to get more time, that would be taken into consideration by the court, but it would ultimately be up to the court to sentence.
Okay, well, we'll see what happens at this sentencing hearing. Again, we believe it's the end of October. Judge Matthew Sciarrino, thank you so much for coming on. Great seeing you again.
Likewise, always a pleasure.
All right, everybody, that's all we have for you right now here on Sidebar. Thank you so much for joining us. And as always, please subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, wherever you get your podcasts. I'm Jesse Weber. I'll speak to you next time.
All right. Shout out to Jesse and LC. That was a very good breakdown about that case. All right. So, yeah, anybody that decapitates a person's head does not need to be put in with regular society. They need to be taken out of it. And Lori says, did she straight up cut off a person's head? As Lord Roan said, yes. Allegedly, she had something to do with this, yes. And some explanation. All right. Refers to the murder trial of Devin Michaels, known as Tercy Travis, who is accused of killing. Deleting sometimes that's been an old word. Some streamers I know use instead of killing. It's kind of a tradition, but it's not necessary to use. You could say killing on YouTube. Accused of killing and decapitating her ex-boyfriend Jonathan Willett in August 2023, the year 23. Get over here if you're land near Inverness. We can meet for coffee or a pint. Well, that's very nice to invite Lori to her homeland because she does feel a strong connection with it. Oh my goodness. Lord Roan says Jesse Weber talked to me into getting True Finder. I looked myself up and depressed. Scared. Alright, summary of the case is the prosecutors allege that Michaels killed Willett at Henderson's home, applied chemicals to his body to burn, desecrate it, and decapitate him. So there's a murder, and then the body is desecrated, and then decapitated. And they also use chemicals to do this. She reportedly drove his head to her home in Las Vegas and disposed of it in the trash, where it was likely picked up by a waste management service and never recovered. Investigation. Police identified Michaels as a suspect after speaking with Willett's mother, who found his body during the police interviews. Michaels initially claimed she did not live with Willett, but physical evidence included his wallet, keys, and found at her home. It's very sad for, parents to find their descendant like this. It's very messed up. Linked her to the crime after failing the polygraph test. She admitted to hitting Willett in the back of the head with a wooden stick during an argument, but denied the decapitation. Pash said, I don't understand the logic with the chemicals on the bed too. Yeah, I don't understand the logic with it either. Because maybe she was trying to disfigure the body and make it look like it wasn't unrecognizable. That's a possibility. Definitely indeed. And I wonder where she got the chemicals from. That's something I'm curious about. Yeah, and going here, let's see. Okay, to answer your question, yes. Reports indicate that the chemicals were same location as the body. On the body. So, when the police arrived, Jonathan Willett's home, they found his headless body in his bed. So the chemicals would have been on the bed too. Officials Officials immediately smelled a strong chemicals believed to be bleach and ammonia and saw smoke or fumes emanating from the body. That's some Halloween shit right there. All right, that's some a Halloween scene from like a decoration or an attraction, some haunted house attraction. It's just, it was steaming with smoke on it because of the chemicals. Bottles of this chemicals are found next to the body on the bed, indicating they had been applied to the corpse in the location in an attempt to desecrate and speed up the decomposition process. So to answer your question, as I made a statement before, is that yes, it was on the bed as well. Like, say you have a body that's on a bed, and then she's dumping it on the bed because that's where the body is. Like, someone's laying on a bed, and you dump it while they're on the bed. And my theory was about a disfigurement to try to make it look unrecognizable or speed up the decaying process. You know, that way, if you have someone that's unrecognizable, you can't know what's there. But then again, they'll know who the person was because it's in a house, right? It's in a house where the person is. So you're going to probably figure out who it is, but whatever. It was just a way for decomposition and also a disfigurement about the chemicals. All right. That's wild about the chemical. This trial is what we've been waiting for all year. Definitely. Especially the connection to Baker. Motive. Michaels allegedly told police she wanted to incapacitate Willett because of a child custody issue so she could figure out what she could do with her children. Also claimed he was abusive. So there is an abuse claim, and as we talked about when we reviewed the Amber Heard trial, which is we really call the Depp versus Heard trial, we know that we don't really know why she would have it done in that way. Because if she could leave, if he's abusive, although many people that are abused stay, I've heard, okay? But there's a point where people can go at some point if they're abused, and abuse is irrelevant to do it to this extent, especially if someone may have not been in the moment of danger is not practical, especially the abuse is, I think, a straw man. You know, it's not really the truth about what's really going on. Right? You know, that I think that's a straw man argument. But I could be wrong. I wasn't there. Pash says, just doesn't make any sense. Scooby-Doo logic or Goldberg level of scheming. Ah, yes. Yeah, I mean, it's certainly it's a mystery with a lot of holes in it, holes in a narrative where it's kind of, whoever did this, it was a way to make it confusing to figure out what the truth is. It wasn't as black and white as we would like it to be. Yeah, and I understand the Scooby-Doo logic, Goldberg level scheming. Yeah. That is a very good example. I like that. And Lori said, alrighty, I have to get to work here in the house, definitely scared. Oh, okay, understood, Lori. Thank you for listening to us as we break this down. All right. Court proceedings. Michaels was scheduled to be sentenced after entering a guilty plea to a second-degree murder, which carried a potential 15-year sentence to life, possibility of parole. However, during the dramatic court hearing in July 25, she became emotional, claimed innocence, and withdrew her guilty plea. Row. Yes. Facts, Lori. And yeah, we just saw that where she was extremely emotional about the guilty plea. She did that and claimed innocence to get a new trial, and we saw the emotional instability she had. Right. Current status. Michaels is now scheduled to face the trial on first-degree murder charges. So it seems like there's a debate between first degree or second degree right now. if what is the true verdict. But it seems like it's first degree, but then they said it's second degree. So, I'm not too sure. So if convicted of the more severe charges, she could face life in prison without possibility of parole. Now it says here, I don't know if it's correct, she could face life in prison without possibility of parole or the death penalty. I thought it wasn't the death penalty, but we will see how that turns out. All right, let's see what evidence links Michaels to the crime scene besides her confession. All right. Besides her confession, significant physical and circumstantial evidence gathered by police links Michaels to the crime and the crime scene. Okay, Moki says it's not death penalty. That's what the chat was saying before. Thanks for... Yeah, I don't think it's death penalty either. But she could face life in prison if convicted. Yeah, thank you, Moki. Besides her confession, significant physical circumstantial evidence gathered by police linked Michaels to the crime and the crime scene. Key evidence includes Willett's possessions at Michael's home. When police went to Michael's residence for an interview, they located several of Willett's personal belongings in her driveway and the bedroom, including Willett's cracked cell phone, which had a dark stain resembling blood on the screen found in the driveway. A bag in her bedroom containing his ID wallet, truck keys, and social security card. Missing weapon. Willett's mother informed police the day... Missing weapon. Willett's mother informed police the day after the body was found that meat cleaver was missing from the kitchen at the crime and home. Prosecutors allege this was the weapon used in the decapitation. And Posh says, oh, okay, that's significant. Bloody cell phone in a driveway, ID in her bedroom. Yeah. And, okay, in the missing weapon, Willett's mother informed police the day after the body was found that a meat cleaver was missing from her kitchen and that crime scene home. Prosecutors alleged this was the weapon used for decapitation. Initial deception. Michaels initially told police she did not live with Willett and claimed he was asleep upstairs the night of his death, which was contradicted by the evidence and mother's discovery of the body downstairs. Forensic evidence. Oh, and shout out to Bubbles, the white cat. It says hello to chat. All right, forensic evidence. Though her head was never recovered. Though her head never recovered, prosecutors have described the evidence as overwhelming that Michaels, the one who performed the decapitation and applied the chemicals bleach and ammonia found in the body at the crime scene, and photograph results. A polygraph test indicated Michaels had a significant reaction when asked if she participated in any way with Willett's death, after which she admitted to hitting him with a stick. So that is what they say is evidence for her being guilty. And y'all can make your decision what you think. Sauce says, I tried with her even I didn't have even when we all were on Alien Screen last week and I said hello, nothing, I won't lose any sleep. Defendant has a heap of Alice's name, Lil Cray Cray, okay? Okay, let's see an argument to why is she innocent. Alright, and shout out to Judy. She's cool people. Alright, and Pash says, I'll discard the polygraph. I don't know why she took that. Okay. Understood. The hypothetical argument for Michael's innocence is based on a statement she has made in court and potential defense strategies centered on the claims of manipulation by law enforcement, third-party involvement, and potential psychological state or memory loss. I remember when Judy came on the show and she seemed like a very sweet lady. I remember she had a cute hat she was making. Because on Halloween, I did a special where we had like a face reveal, and a lot of people from the chat room came on the stream through StreamYard. I have on the screen, and you got to see like people's faces in like a video chat. That was awesome. Beautiful aliens, angels, as we call them, the beautiful ladies, and it was nice having Sauce on board the spaceship too. It was nice seeing him as well. And Abs and I talked for a little while. It was pretty cool. All right. Assertion of being framed or manipulated. Michaels has claimed in court that police manipulated and altered and twisted things, and that they should not be able to do it. This suggests a defense strategy that may challenge the validity or handling of the evidence of law enforcement. Hell yeah. Yeah, and Omoki, it was really cool to see you and for you to come on the show. It happens. It's, people that call into shows. I've been on, I co-hosted shows before on other regions of YouTube, and yeah, a lot of times people call in. Sometimes they might have the stream on the background, like they're listening to both at the same time, and it causes a background. And usually what people do is mute the stream they're watching. Not saying that's what was going on necessarily, but that's what I think it may have been. And then they say what they have to on the show. But it's okay. It's all good. You did fine in that sense where you came and participated. It was nice seeing you on. A lot of people do it. It's all good. The third-party responsibility, all right, she stated that the actual person responsible for Willett's death has not been held accountable, and that she can prove her innocence. Elaine says, I've seen enough saucy for one day. I'll banana. Shocked the life out of me. Your lesson learned. Yes, it's good. And it happens all the time. Like, the host will be like, I can hear some noise in the background. They ask us to turn the other stream off. And yeah, it's regular. It's normal. And sometimes there's incidences where someone will have their alarm on, the smoke alarm in the background, and people can hear the chirping while this person's on call, and it's really, dude's like, you need to get some batteries, all right? It's for that for the smoke alarm. And that was really cool. And and denial of okay, I think I said this. Okay, third party responsibility. She has stated that the actual person responsible for Willett's death has not been held accountable, and she can prove her innocence. All right, and Lori says, I will be sideshow as I do my chores. Task 1, find the repair a leak in the thermarest air mattress. Interesting. Interesting. Good luck with that one. I don't know a lot about those. Scared. Denial of full involvement. While she admitted to striking Willett with a stick to injure him, not to kill him, she has never admitted to decapitation portion of the crime. Claimed memory issues. A detective's report mentioned that when asked if it was possible she Leah killed Willett and didn't remember Michael's answer, that is very possible. Allegations of abuse. Michaels claimed Willett had been abusive toward her, which might raise a part of her defense during the trial. It's great fun. What he said. Right. And a lack of direct evidence. While prosecutors describe the evidence as overwhelming, defense may focus on a lack of direct physical evidence, such as the unrecovered head that definitely proves she carried out every aspect of the crime, particularly the decapitation. Alright, let's see right here. What evidence might support Michael's claim for police manipulation or third-party involvement? Let's see what they say about this. Evidence that might hypothetically support Michael's claim of police manipulation or third-party involvement are primarily based on her own unverified statements and challenges to police procedures rather than independent verifiable evidence. Michael's statements in court. Michaels has reported a statement in court that I quote, "I didn't do this," and that she can actually prove innocence. She claimed the person responsible has not been held accountable, and that they've manipulated and altered and twisted things. These are specific accusations. Yes, I agree that the head would clear up a few questions. Indeed, that's true. Contradictions in admissions. Michaels admitted to police that she hit Willett with a wooden stick to hurt him, not to kill him, and claimed he was still breathing when she left. This could support an argument that someone else inflicted the fatal and subsequent injuries, decapitation, chemical burns. She never admitted to decapitation portion of the crime, and only initial blow, which could point to connection for defense in establishing exact timeline and preparator of the entire act. Questioning of police interrogation methods. Michael's attorney argued in a pre-trial motion that police pushed forward with a key interview after she had invoked the right to an attorney. The defense may use this to challenge the admissibility or credibility of her incriminating statements made during that interview, potentially showing a form of manipulation in obtaining the confession. Memory loss claim. A police report mentioned that when detective asked Michaels if it was possible she killed Willett and didn't remember, she answered that was very possible. The defense might try to frame this as an actual psychological issue or sign of being pressured by detectives rather than an admission of guilt. Oh, okay. Thank you, Lori, for pronunciation. Traitor. Okay, thank you. I must have been saying it in some other kind of way. Thank you. Do they like strawberry ice cream? Strawberry ice cream is their favorite. That is true. All right. Third party suggestion. The defense attorney briefly suggested in pretrial hearings that evidence has been tampered with. Previous attorneys for Michaels testified there was no indication of this. The current defense may attempt to revisit or point potential mishandling by someone other than Michaels or the police. Prosecution has described the evidence against Michaels as overwhelming. Defense has not yet presented arguments or evidence in a full trial. These claims remain hypothetical until argued in court. All right, let's see this one. Shout out to Mary Toodles. Oki said she's so tired. Yeah. Yeah. All right. I love strawberry cheesecake ice cream too. Yeah, very delicious. My question is, why did the person do decapitation? Authorities and prosecutors have not provided a specific confirmation motive as to why the body was decapitated. Michaels never admitted to decapitation, only to striking Willett with a stick, and thus not offered reason for that specific extreme act. Oh yes, understood, Pash. Based on what you've read, I'm waiting for the victim's cell phone and ID to come into evidence. Yeah. We will see how that goes, if it sways it one way or another. Yeah. We have to wait and see, definitely. Oh, you're not waiting yet, but could be soon. Oh, okay. Okay, understood. Body discretion concealment. Prosecutors have described the act as desecration. Oh, okay, Joyce. Glad to know. Welcome back. So, Joyce, we've talked about reasons for why they believe she's innocent and why they believe she's guilty. You know, that what the defense is saying and what the state is saying. You know, there's some claims about the cell phone and ID coming out. There is that those are factors. There is her own statements. Now her defense is that someone else nefarious did it and that she was innocent and that the police manipulated the situation. So there's a couple of different just perspectives from the state and the defense. So, however, the circumstances and evidence. Okay, well, the leak is not on the side one. Oh, okay. Okay. Scared. Lori. All right, body desecration, concealment. Prosecutors have described the act as desecration, the application of chemicals, bleach, ammonia, and body, and the disposal of the head in residential trash suggests an attempt to destroy evidence, speed up decomposition, and prevent the identification of the victim or cause of death. All right. Logistics of disposal. Tossing the head in the trash, which was then picked up by waste service and never recovered, was the method of the disposing of key evidence from the main crime scene. Michael's alleged motive for the initial assault. Michaels told police she only wants it to hurt Willett enough to send him to the hospital because she wanted him out of the way so she could figure out what she could do with her children. Decapitation. The chemical use were subsequent actions which likely stemmed from a desire to conceal the murder after it occurred. Extreme nature of the crime may also imply the emotional component, but no specific motive for the act of decapitation itself has been officially stated or proven in court. Wow, that'll do it, lady. Oh, well. Right. Let's go here. All right, and Pash is a very good question. How can they be confident she threw it in the garbage if they never recovered it? Yeah, it's a very good question. That certainly would be a speculation. Now, this source says the prosecutors are confident that Michaels threw Jonathan Willett's head in the garbage primarily based off of the process of elimination. So it seems more like a speculation than actual concrete evidence. And Elaine says she confessed and then retracted. Okay, thank you, Elaine. Thank you. And then Elaine says, okay, Moki and Elaine both say that she confessed and retracted. Okay. Thank you, chat, for that. I didn't know. This chick thinks she's Mary the First of England or what? Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. That's a very good analogy, Lori. Very good analogy. All right. Jonathan Willett's head is in the garbage primarily based on process of elimination, her known moments, and the unlikelihood of the head being disposed of elsewhere without being found. All right, I just want to say anybody that wanted to cut people's heads off is really not there, right? And Lori smells one of those vermins. Yeah. Absence of the crime scene. The head was severed from the body and was not present at the Henderson crime scene when police arrived. Willett's belongings found at Michael's home. Michaels drove from Willett's home in Henderson to her home in Las Vegas, where police later found several of Willett's items, including his wallet, keys, and a blood-stained phone. This confirms she transported items from the crime scene to her house. Oh, that's it. That's hilarious, Moki. Nice. I liked too many bands to name from the 80s. The 80s had really interesting music. They're classics now. Right. Disposal method. The head was never recovered during the searches. It alleged that she disposed of it in her residential trash, which was subsequently collected by the regular trash service. Logistics of waste management. Once residential trash is collected and compacted in a garbage truck, it is taken to a landfill and buried in layers of waste and dirt. Finding a specific item in a modern active landfill is extremely difficult, if not impossible, due to the volume of trash and the compaction process. Pash said, I can't believe they apparently found the phone in a driveway too. Extreme efforts on one side and laziness on the other. Yeah. Or completely reckless. You know, it's very sloppy and reckless and lazy and lack of effort, exactly. Like, one part, there's extreme effort into it, and then the other side just letting evidence just fly all over the place in a foolish manner. Yeah, very well said. Prosecutor's statements. Chief Deputy District Attorney John Giordani stated in court that Michaels allegedly took Willett's head from the Henderson's crime scene and drove it to her home in Las Vegas, where she threw it in the trash. Documents state that the head was then likely picked up by the local trash services. I just read that. Okay, that was the part that I was reading. Okay, the other part I meant to read was this. While there might not be video of the act of disposal, the conclusion is drawn from the combination of circumstantial evidence and logical conclusions that the head was destroyed in the waste management system. All right, interesting. This other part is, what would police take to dispose of a body if they believe the head is lost in a landfill? When police believe a crucial body part, such as the victim's head, is unrecoverable in a landfill, their focus shifts from physical recovery to the specific part of the investigative and legal steps. All right, and Pash says the drumming, Canberry Gorilla really brought Phil Collins back for me. At least that's the one song. Oh, I did it for you. Nice. And Burley calls Sublime 1990s, and then grunge. Interesting bands. Yes. And there is Nirvana. I know about Nirvana. And let's see, Elaine says Metallica, Led Zeppelin, Amy Whitehouse, The Cure, even Arctic Monkeys, Phil Collins. Yeah, I have heard of some of those before. Definitely. I like Alice in Chains. That was a good one. Other ones, not familiar with. All right, forensic examination of remaining body. The police and hello there, GSI. It is great to see you, she says. My Moraine Lake, my Gonaldo's Serrata, my Van Cleef, my Rolex. Well, thank you so much. The ocean of diamonds. Oceans filled with gold and diamonds. That is who you are, and the greatest yachts that can be bought is what you are. Thank you, G, for being here. And yeah, we're talking about music and this case that we are currently watching. And G, this painting, not the painting, this trial is, the person in this trial is an ex of Baker. And G said, "Oh, we are going to keep doing this till we run out of the greatest things on Earth." Yes, yes, we will, and we are learning a lot about the greatest things on Earth. And G, you are the most enchanting, beautiful rainforests and waterfalls, GSI, with all the enchanting minerals and ancient gold from the Aztecs, and the most abundant yacht. Indeed, as I said, those yachts are really cool. Yes, the criminal is an ex of Baker. That's true. Yeah, it's true. And this isn't this. And guess what? Her lawyers are Tellus's lawyers. Moraine Lake is stunning. All right, I'm gonna look it up right now. Yeah, I'll give you an overview of the case. And we're talking about music. And we're talking. Oh, that is beautiful. Thank you, G, so much. It's so sweet. So sweet. I'll show you all in the other window what we're looking at here. Very sweet. Let's see. Oh, thank you, Posh. Thank you. I appreciate that very much. Indeed. Yes. And this is this right here. Very cool. Well, this one is less rainy, I would suppose, but it's not. And then we're going to go here. Who liked Anne Murray? Sons. Okay. Oh, yeah. Now, this is the wrong thing. Anne Murray can do was nice. Yeah, so thank you for that. And she said, "Geode, if I may." Oh, thank you, Pasha, compliment. And you are a cave of. Oh yes, you are the cave of geodes. I'm a geode, and you are the cave that has all the geodes in it. So thank you for that. Now what we will do is this part here with an enchanting sunset as well on the geodes. Makes sense. Thank you, G and Posh, for the compliments. All right, and yeah, summarizing the case. That's what I want to get at. Pash said, "I guess the LC editor is asleep until tomorrow." Yes. All right. All right, I'm going to summarize this case for G so she can understand it. All right, so this is Devine Michaels. All right, this is Devine Michaels. I mean, I was 14 at the time I first heard of her back. It was either Rush, Metallica, or U2, or Rod Stewart, and the like. Nice. My religious cousins introduced me to Anne Murray, gave me the whole LMAO. Nice, nice. G said, I was in Canada with my dad, and that was my cousin's gift to me. Oh, nice. Okay. All right, so G, this is called the Vegas Mom Decapitated Boyfriend trial. And she tossed the head in the trash. Oh, hello, Judy. Good evening. Good evening. All right. It refers to the murder trial of V. Michaels, who is accused of deleting, killing, decapitating her ex-boyfriend, John O. Thon Willett, in August of 23. The crime prosecutors allege Michaels deleted, killed Willett at a Henderson, Nevada. I don't know if I'm pronouncing Nevada right, but chat could help me if I pronounced it wrong. Home, applied chemicals to his body to burn and desecrate it, and then decapitate him. She reportedly drove his head to her home in Vegas and disposed of the trash, where it was likely picked up by Waste Management Service, never to be recovered. Oh, thank you, Judy. I very appreciate that. Thank you for the feedback. I pronounced it right. Okay, thank you. Listening that woman a basket case. Yes, it's definitely a basket case indeed. All right. Police identified Michaels as a suspect after speaking with Willett's mother, who followed his body during the police interviews. Michaels initially claimed she did not live with Willett, but physical evidence, including his wallet and keys found at her home, linked her to the crime. After failing polygraph test, she admitted to hitting Willett in the back of the head with a wooden stick during an argument, but denied the decapitation. Motive. Michaels allegedly told police she wanted to incapacitate Willett because of the child custody issue. So that is what happened, G. She was saying that she had a child custody issue and she wanted to injure him but not murder him, but it seems like it's quite the contrary occurred. Right? And figure out that she could do with her children. She also claimed he was abusive. Yes, it does seem like that, G. Yes. All right, court proceedings. Michaels was scheduled to be sentenced after entering guilty plea to second-degree murder, which carried a potential sentence of 15 years to life with possibility of parole. However, during a dramatic court hearing in July 25, she became emotional, claimed innocence, and withdrew her guilty plea. Yeah, sounds like that, just not just injury, right? All right, current status. Michaels is now scheduled to face a jury trial on a first-degree murder charge. If convicted, more severe charge, she could face life in prison without parole or the deletion death penalty. Okay, Judy liked Van Halen, Def Leppard, Collins, Mick Jagger, and Stewart, etc. Yeah. Those are very good bands. G said, everyone was ballistic over Madonna at the time, and I never understood the going mad for her. Liking her is one thing. Going nuts, disrespectful. No disrespect, of course. Okay. All right, current status. Michaels is now scheduled to face a jury trial on a first-degree murder charge if convicted. More severe charge, she could face life in prison without parole or the death penalty. In Nevada, felony criminal trials include murder trials are conducted with a jury of 12 persons. However, the law allows defense and prosecution to mutually stipulate in writing with the court's approval to smaller jury size of no fewer than 6 people. For a verdict to be reached in the Nevada criminal case, the decision of a 12 or the stipulated upon number of jurors must be unanimous. Additionally, the court typically sets up to 6 alternate jurors who listen to the entire trial and can replace any regular juror who becomes unable to perform their duties before deliberations begin. Yes, cheers. Alright. Let's see what else. Slayer. What happened to her? Lori says, I submerged the air mattress and still can't find the leak. And now we shall go to war. Arg. Arg. Okay. Oh, yeah. Yeah, scared. So that is a summary of what the case is about. And we'll talk about what the defense is saying and what the state is saying. Okay. All right, in this part will be the state's argument and defense. I said this like earlier, but for those that are coming in, I'm going to say it for them. Thank you, Alien. Any X of Bakers is trouble. Right. Yeah, we were talking about that earlier. Like, X of Bakers is like, whoa. Like, scared. And her attorneys are Tellus's attorneys. That's why this is like a sequel to Tellus and Sementelli trial. Ah, that's cool. Yeah. That's cool, Posh. Michael's murder trial began on November 5, 25. In their opening statements, the state focused on circumstantial evidence and admissions by the defendant, while defense claimed the victim's son and Michael's husband was the actual killer. The prosecution, led by Chief Deputy District Attorney John Gordani, outlined the case. This is the state's argument. Based on strong circumstantial evidence and incriminating statements made by Michaels during the police interviews. Overwhelming evidence. Gardani, Gaiordani, I'm probably pronouncing that wrong, mentioned that evidence pointed to Michael's guilt despite the missing head is overwhelming. Body desecration. The state detailed the brutal nature of the crime, including the application of chemicals like bleach, ammonia, to its body, to desecrate it and dispose of his head in the trash. Incriminating statements. The state plans to highlight Michael's admission to police that she hit Willett in the back of the head with a stick, intending to incapacitate him. Physical evidence. They will likely present evidence found at Michael's Las Vegas home, including Willett's wallet, ID, and blood-stained cell phones connecting her to the crime. So that is the state's argument. Next part is defense. Defense attorney Robert. This is the same defense attorney for Tellus. Robert Draskovic presented an alternate theory suggests shifting the focus onto the victim's son, Derev Willett, who was married to Michaels. Third-party guilt. Draskovic explicitly told the jury that Willett killed his father and that they should look at the motives and find her not guilty. Chew. All right, motive. Okay, and Posh said if defense can prove her interview was done after she requested a lawyer, though it might ruin half the state's case. Oh, interesting. Interesting. Thank you for your take on this. And yeah, you know, things like that can certainly tip the scales. It's like the scale of justice, it get tipped in one way or another. Yep, that's a good thing to point out. Well, thank you, G. I appreciate it. All right. Motive for the son. The defense suggested a strong motive for the son, stating that the days before the murder, Michaels was massaging Willett, asking for a divorce, and Draskovic argued Rev was angry because his father was not only taking his home, but taking his wife. Access to means. The defense pointed out that the son works as a home security system technician and has access to power saws, potentially linking him to the method of decapitation. Challenging police investigation. The defense will challenge the police investigation, pointing out the police never named the son as a suspect despite interviewing him multiple times, and focus solely on Michaels. Where it said, I now have a very clean and still leaky air mattress. I'm conceding the battle in the interest of time, but not the war. Yeah, you will win the war. Indeed, you will. Now let's see what the defense is citing against the victim's son. Yeah. Oh, you too is cool. I like that one too. During opening statements of the trial, the defense, Michael cited that the following points in an effort to implicate the victim's son, Willett, as the actual killer. G said Sauce started the trigger of the Limp Disket Flappy Fish Market. Yes. All right, shout out to Sauce. That was great, G. That was very funny. Yeah, we know about the Flappy Fish Markets from we were doing reactions to the Depp trial, and that is what one of Depp's roasts. Pash said, I'd be salty too. Defeated by a mattress, humiliating. Yeah. Yes, the mattress is sitting there laughing maniacally. I changed it to Disket in case we have underage people here. Yeah, yes, I know what you mean. And the limp deek, as our famous word is deek, and our new word for it is. All right, let's see. All right, we are back. All right, and Moki, good night to you. Thank you for coming. I appreciate you helping out with the stream. Oh, look who it is. By the way, scared? Yeah, Regina, scared? Okay, shout out to DeLeon Auto Detailing. So the person in the chat, DeLeon Auto Detailing, is a friend of mine I had since first grade. And good to see you, buddy. I'm glad you came to visit us. So, yeah, DeLeon, what we're doing right now is we are reviewing. Okay, this is my trial group, and some of these people are from other parts of YouTube, but most of them are my trial chat group, and they're people from all over the country, and we are talking about music from the 80s and different things like that, and I'm reviewing a case for the this trial that's happening. This woman allegedly decapitated this man's head and murdered him, and she was an ex of this guy Baker, who was in another trial from last year, who was a murderer who was cheating with this woman named Monica and deleted Monica's husband. So that, or murder delete is used interchangeably. So this is a really big trial for us. It's like a finale because it's a sequel to another trial that we saw before. And her attorneys are the same attorneys that Tellis had. Robert Tellis is this person in Las Vegas who murdered this journalist named Mr. Gurman and was exposing his political corruption. So you're having two different things happening at once. So that's what we're doing, and I've been watching trials. I've been reacting to different stuff with chat, and I've been focusing on the trial chats on YouTube. I've been very busy, but everything isn't going great. Oh, Aposh says it reminds me of trying to explain LC to my sister, and also it's people Nash from across the world. It's international. There's people in here that are in other countries watching, so it's like a big web of different things. Yeah. So yeah, exactly. And it's been about a minute since I've talked to DeLeon. It's been about a minute, and so I'm giving like a summary to catch him up with what I've been up to the past few months or so. And DeLeon, I hope everything's going well with you, buddy. With the detailing and whatever else is going on, I appreciate you being here, telling me hello. It really means a lot. We've been through a lot together. All right, G says, Alien, that was not the trial I came in to say hi to you guys, though. How many cases are there, for Pete's sake? Oh. Okay, there's 2 up right now on LC. Oh, good night to you, Judy. Okay, thank you. Good night to you. Thank you for coming. Now, there is one right now in Texas, all right? And the one in Texas has to do with the teen murder trial. This one is a separate trial. So there's 2 up right now. But before there was like 4. But now there's just 2. All right, G said, when I came in, it was about 17, 18-year-olds who deleted the grandma, killed the grandma. Yeah, so that one is the one in Texas where the defendant is on trial and they're both being tried separately. Yeah, that one is the one we saw with you earlier. And later in the day, the one in Las Vegas started. It started a little bit later than the other one did. And then we went to that trial, and I was there, and that started in the afternoon, the later afternoon. So that just kind of breaks down the explanations of the trial confusion for today. All right, and Ori said, okay, sideshow, task 2, laundry and grading papers. These I can win. Oh, yeah, you got this. You got this. I'm going to get me a glass of wine. Oh, okay, Joyce. Well deserved. You certainly deserve it. I'm glad to hear. Elaine said, it's the sweetest, alien spaceship is the sweetest guy in the whole outer space. Adore my lad to bits. Thank you, Elaine. You are so kind to me. I always, throughout the years I've known you in the different chat rooms, you've always been very sweet, like the most purest honey. And the warmth that I feel from you can certainly help overcome any mists that will come over the lands of the spaceship. So thank you, Elaine, for that compliment. Posh says, cut to Lori. I've got too many paper cuts to win this time. Cut to Lori. Oh, yeah, those paper cuts can be pretty intense. Yeah, I've gotten those before. And need to be been a day as usual. Okay. All right. Now this is the defense. So motive. Defense claims that Willett had a strong personal motive. They argued he was angry because Michaels was messaging him about a divorce, and he felt his father was not only taking his home, but taking his wife. Michaels was married to the son living with the father. Oh, thank you, Elaine. I'm glad that you're there for me. I appreciate that. And also, shout out to all of you that are here with me in the chat. I appreciate you all very much in this community that we have built. And those that just came in tonight, I appreciate you all coming to the spaceship. We welcome everybody. All right. Access to potential weapons. The defense mentioned to Willett worked as a home security system technician, and in the role has access to power tools, specifically power saws, which could have been used in decapitation. Challenging investigation focus. The defense intends to challenge why the police investigation focused solely on Michaels, despite interviewing the son multiple times and never considered him a suspect. And Pash says, oh, he was home security. That explains the 30 surveillance cams at the home. Yes, correct. All right, go for my angel. You have it now to do with those situations. Yes, thank you, G. And G says, oh, that was directed towards Elaine, I think. I was me being clueless for a second. All right, G said, damn, I got hungry. The whole point at the gym is honest. It is to be healthy, but it makes me hungry, thirsty, and wide awake. Oh, yeah. And, well, I'm glad that you're going to the gym, G. and that is a good start. And whatever your goals are, I believe you're going to be able to meet them. All right, and challenge investigation. The defense intends to challenge why the police investigation focused solely on Michaels, despite interviewing the son multiple times and never considered him a suspect. All right, prosecution countered these claims by saying the surveillance footage is clearly rules derived from being near his father's home at the time of the murder, as the footage did not place him near the scene. The son has not been charged in connection with the case. G said, tighten that shit up, Alright, and I got phases. My goal is to just tone up and get some strength. Well, that's good. That's good. And you'll get there. No great thing was created suddenly. And I'm glad that, taking action, even when there's setbacks occur, the will and desire will eventually fall into place. Facts. All right. So let's see. So that is a summary of the case for G. And Pash says, oh, okay, that explains the question. Surveillance says the son wasn't there according to state. Right. Right. You are welcome, G, my sacred treasure cove, and in the uncut gem of the Great Islands. The island of uncut gems. Untouched. That the most ambitious, daring explorers of the seven seas will come across. I appreciate you very much. So that is to you, GSI. Thank you for that compliment. And that is my compliment to you, GSI. Oh, okay, Joyce. Yes, thank you. Yeah, and as I said, so GSI, as I think about, you are the golden treasure cove, GSI, with all kinds of treasure, with the tons of gems and sapphires and many artifacts from across the world in one place. And that is where all the daring explorers and pirates and all kinds of people put their treasure, in your treasure cove. Yeah, and what is with the formalities, Alien calling me G? I know, right? That is certainly what I have for you, because there's so many things that are great that start with G. The gems and gold and greatness and global success and putting it all into one. And also gangsta, like the cool kids like to say. All in one letter. I have my alien methods of doing those things. Oh, I called you GSI? Oh, I am such a fool, indeed. I am a fool. Yes, God, Goddess, and Gracious. That too, as well. Yes, G, the goddess of the spaceship, indeed. You are indeed gracious. Yeah, gold, gem, great, goddess, gracious, God. Yes, absolutely. Those things add as well. Great Short Intel, GSI. Yes, there you go. And international, because you are internationally everywhere. All right, and Sauce says, well, ladies and gentlemen, I need to eat. Gotta shove that. Oh, thanks, you alien form in here. Good night, everyone. Love you all. Yes. Absolutely. I got one. G, the goddess of the treasure cove. How about that? So, yeah, and that is the summary of the trial. And I'm going to play the clip for G we played earlier about her having the panic attack, by the way. Oh, you're not done with your wine yet. Okay. Okay. I'm scared. Yes, yes, absolutely. All right, so now what we're going to do is I'm going to show her this clip that we saw. I showed you all earlier. We're going to be looking at her freaking out over. Or she has. This is her rejecting the plea deal and doing the trial instead. All right, let's go here.
ASSV 377-239, State of Nevada versus Devin Michaels. May the record reflect that Ms. Michaels is present in custody. Mr. Patrick is here on her behalf. Mr. Giordani and Ms. Griffith are here on behalf of the state. This is the date and time set for sentencing. Are both parties prepared to go forward?
Yes, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor.
All right, state, this is a stipulated sentence. Anything you want to add?
I do just a couple of things, Judge. First, we have 3 victim speakers. I asked that they permitted me speak last.
Okay.
We obviously went to a settlement conference. We stipulated this sentence. I think that the life tale reflects the gravity and the haunting nature of the facts. As you know, the defendant not only murdered her ex, but then desecrated his body by decapitating him and putting chemicals on his body, causing it to burn. The defendant admitted to the fatal blow. She never admitted to the decapitation portion, but the evidence was overwhelming that it was obviously her who did it. Another haunting fact, and something that should be concerning, which supports the life tale, is that the defendant had a corollary child abuse case that pre-existed this. We reviewed, Ms. Griffith and I reviewed the minutes in that case, and it appears that 2 days after she murdered and decapitated her ex, she appeared in court in front of another judge in this courthouse and made representations that she was staying out of trouble, and obviously had that on her conscience at the time, walked right back out of the courthouse, and then ultimately was developed as our suspect and arrested. We take this case very seriously, obviously the family does as well. We believe the sentence reflects the gravity of the crime, so we will submit it. We do have some updates on CTS, which was wrong in the PSI.
Correct. I calculated the credit at 455 days as of today.
Okay, that sounds correct.
Because I calculated it in regards to she was on probation when this event occurred. She then got that sentence imposed. She was released on that sentence, so she started accumulating the credit on that day, and I have it at 455 days as of today.
Yes, and we also have restitution requests. We've now received documentation.
Actually, I not received documentation.
Right, we just received it this morning. We showed it to Mr. Patrick. It's supposed to be $5,000 to VOC.
I have that.
$1,923 to James Willett.
Hold on just one minute. $1,923?
Yes.
To who?
James Willett.
Okay.
And $2,500 to Yoko Willett.
How do you spell the first name?
Y-O-K-O.
Okay. Mr. Patrick, have you seen this?
I have, Your Honor.
Okay, what's your position in regards to the restitution?
They had the documentation, we're okay with it.
Okay, state, I'm gonna need you to file that documentation. Because pursuant to the new case law, I can't order restitution without documentation.
Yes, ma'am.
All right? Ms. Michaels, what, if anything, would you like to say before I pronounce sentence against you?
There's so much I want to say. Jonathan was very special, very unique, and I know no matter what I say at this moment, I know right now no one in the family is going to believe me. I know right now no one in the family feels that I am innocent at any point, and I understand that, but I can actually prove my innocence. I actually can, and I'm not going to stop fighting to prove my innocence. I have more than enough, and Jonathan deserves to have the actual person who's guilty behind bars. I was helping Jonathan. I can show that I was trying to help him, and this I know is hurting the family, and I can see it in your faces, and I know your hearts are angry, and they should be, and I'm angry for you. And this is not fair to you. This has been dragging out for almost 2 years. It's not fair to you. And it's not fair to his children. Any of them. And it's not right. It really isn't. It's not. I've seen so much that it's just terrible. The way that they manipulated and altered and deleted things is wrong. They should not be able to do it, and they have. And for you to be able to look me in the eye knowing that the things are altered and...
You pled guilty, man.
Ms. Michaels, you are not to address the state. You are to address me. You are. You're addressing Mr. Giordani. You are going to address me. What do you want me to say? What do you want to say to me?
My apologies. I wasn't trying to address the state directly. It's just, I was told one thing after another, and I truly believed that we were going to do the right thing, and it just didn't happen. I am so sorry for all of this, but I am so sorry. But I didn't do this, and I didn't know this would end up like this. I really didn't. And I will forever apologize to the family. But I don't know how to fix any of this anymore. I don't. I keep listening to what everyone tells me is the best thing to do. Just do this and it'll work out this way, and follow this advice and we'll do this. And I keep listening to the people because they keep saying this is the best advice. It doesn't turn out the way they tell me it will. And it just gets worse and worse. And I don't know what to do anymore.
Judge, I'm not comfortable with this record. I'm willing to let her out of her plea if the court is inclined.
I don't know how to fix this.
All right.
It's just, this wouldn't be appropriate.
I completely understand.
Let's go to trial.
Mr. Giordani. All right. Ms. Michael, Judge Mr. Giordani says that he's willing to let you out of your plea, and he's willing to try this case. And you understand that he's willing to try this case on an open murder. So a jury can convict you of a first-degree murder. Do you understand that? Or do you want to talk to Mr. Patrick about it?
Well, I don't want to talk to Mr. Patrick. He didn't listen to anything I said.
Miss Michaels, I need you to understand what I'm saying to you and answer my question.
Yes.
Do you want to withdraw your plea and go to trial?
Yes, please.
All right. this plea is going to be withdrawn. Mr. Patrick, I need you to have some discussions with your client
Your
about...
Honor, I move to withdraw at this time. This case needs to go back to the appointed counsel.
Ms.
I will-
Michaels, hold on just one second. Ms. Michaels, you need to conduct yourself like this is a courtroom. If you cannot do that, then they're going to remove you because I still have business to conduct.
Yes,
Do you understand? Mr. Patrick?
Judge, respectfully, I move to withdraw and have this case sent back to Office of Appointed Counsel. I am not in a position to accept appointment on this case should it go to trial at this time.
All right. All right, I'm going to have to reach out to the Office of Appointed Counsel and get her a lawyer that's going to be appointed with the understanding this case is 2 years old. This case is not going to sit stagnant and wait around for a trial. So I'm going to reach out to Ms. Bush myself and have a discussion with her in regards to the appointment of counsel because this is not going to...
Oh, gee, let's see. Is it on? Is the mic hot or not? Let's see. The mic is hot, so people can hear what I'm saying. All right, G. So what's going on in this situation is that this woman was doing a hearing, right, where she took a plea deal and she was going to be sentenced for 15 years, at least. And she had this dramatic moment where she wanted to revoke her plea and do a trial instead. And for some reason, she was very emotionally charged in this situation. I may have not have... I didn't explain it to you completely before I played the clip. So that is what the situation is. Alright, G said, was she pleading guilty and not wanting to plead not guilty? What happened? She was there for sentencing and basically exploded, declaring the evidence altered and her being dragged along like a Call of Duty player. Now we are in trial. She originally pleaded guilty, but then panicked and retracted it. Yeah, why didn't she just tell her attorney instead of acting out? Because she is unemotionally explosive. That's what the most logical thing to do would be, unless she was doing this as a manipulation tactic. I don't know if there was some other motive or she just exploded out of some emotional situation. Alright, so thanks, Pash, for explaining it to chat in G. Alright, here we go. Let's go here. So, yeah, well, there's a little bit more of it to play. Well, I'm just going to, play a part of it back so y'all can, see the intensity of this.
The way they tell me it will. And it just gets worse and worse. And I don't know what to do anymore.
Judge, I'm not comfortable with this record. I'm willing to let her out of her plea if the court is inclined.
I don't know how to face this.
All right.
It's just, this wouldn't be appropriate.
I completely understand.
Let's go to trial.
Mr. Giordani. All right. Ms. Michael, Judge Mr. Giordani says that he's willing to let you out of your plea and he's willing to try this case. And you understand that he's willing to try this case on an open murder. So a jury can convict you of a first-degree murder. You understand that? Or do you want to talk to Mr. Patrick about it?
I don't want to talk to Mr. Patrick. He didn't listen to anything I said.
Miss Michaels, I need you to understand what I'm saying to you and answer my question.
Yes.
Do you want to withdraw your plea and go to trial?
Yes, please.
All right. This plea is going to be withdrawn. Mr. Patrick, I need you to have some discussions with your client about...
Your Honor, I move to withdraw at this time. This case needs to go back to the appointed counsel.
Miss Michaels, hold on just one second. Miss Michaels,
And also her attorney pulled out and was not involved anymore with this case. So then it was replaced with Tellus's attorneys.
you need to conduct yourself like this is a courtroom. If you cannot do that, then they're going to remove you because I still have business to conduct.
Yes.
Do you understand? Mr. Patrick?
Judge, respectfully, I move to withdraw and have this case sent back to Office of Appointed Counsel. I am not in a position to accept appointment on this case should it go to trial at this time.
All right. All right, I'm gonna have to reach out to the Office of Appointed Counsel and get her a lawyer that's going to be appointed with the understanding this case is 2 years old. This case is not going to sit stagnant and wait and wait and wait around for a trial. So I'm going to reach out to Ms. Bush myself and have a discussion with her in regards to the appointment of counsel, because this is not going to be, this case has been delayed extensively, and this case is not going to further be delayed so that there is no justice for everybody.
Yes, Your Honor.
And, Your Honor, if I may, that's one of the other reasons, because with Barry Edwards, it would be late next year before I would even consider putting this on as a trial.
So I'll reach out to Ms. Bush,
Understood.
July 31st, 9 a.m.
And, Your Honor, do you grant my motion to withdraw, please?
Yes, I'm going to grant your motion to withdraw.
Thank you.
My partner right there. Come on, my partner.
Go on page 6.
Right, she'll get life in prison instead of 15 years. If she's found guilty. No one else has been charged in the murder so far. Michaels, the woman that you saw, is the sole person charged in a connection with the murder. Yeah, we're still here. Welcome. Welcome back. And Pash says we can't say she was coerced into the decision, was clearly explained to her as far as I'm concerned. So why is she going to trial? Is she stupid? Yeah, she's stupid. You know, there's no logical explanation. She just seems like she's, out of whack, or, outer space somewhere. Okay, what is this? It's yeah. All right, so the reason why Michaels withdrew her guilty plea during the emotional court hearing because she maintained her innocence and claimed that she could prove a third party was actually the killer. So the reason why she did what she did was she really believes that she can prove that a third party did this. Prayers for Elaine, definitely. She is saying that it wasn't her. I think claiming facts don't point her, and she was just taking the blame. You're welcome, G. Claiming innocence, Michaels reported stated that in court that she was innocent and could prove it. Allegations, manipulation. She claimed that law enforcement manipulated the investigation and that she received bad legal advice when accepting the plea. Belief of a third-party guilt. She stated the person responsible for the deletion death of Willett had not been held accountable, a claim her defense attorney is pursuing. Pash says, without the surveillance, the only suspect available are the defendant, the victim's mother, and the mother's boyfriend. Yes, that's true. Emotional distress. Not distress, but that's not a word. Emotional distress. Michaels was heavily emotional and tearful in court, saying that the situation worsened. Prosecutor agreed to release Michaels from the plea agreement and proceeded to a jury trial where she now faces a more severe first-degree murder charge. Okay, night, Elaine. Thank you for hanging out with us. Pash said she's already accusing her lover, the victim's son, but according to the state surveillance, that doesn't put him in the house. Right. Reggie says, I don't get why she didn't ask for a trial to begin with. Maybe she thought she was going to get 2 years, and when she heard 15, she was like, hell no. Yeah. I certainly, I'm not a professional, but this is only my speculation. I think she panicked at the idea of 15 years. I think she panicked, and she wanted to have like a chance to get out. But in the long term, if it doesn't work, she'll be in there the rest of her life. So yeah, that was the thing of the 15 years. It panicked. Oh, good night, Joyce. Thank you for hanging out with us. Take care. Oh yeah, Joyce. Good night to you. Michaels is accused of killing her on again, off again boyfriend, Jonathan Willett. Willett was a 46-year-old man who owned a moving company in Las Vegas. Yes, G, this was the video you just watched was from a couple of months ago. The trial that's on now is happening after the original video that you saw. She dated the father, then dated and married his son. Right. It's a weird situation. You're welcome, G. The relationship between Michaels and Willett was complex, marked by a romantic relationship, shared children, a strained family dynamic, and allegations of abuse. a on again, off again romance and share children. Michaels and Willett were in an on and off again relationship and had 2 daughters together. They were reportedly planning to move in together to make things easier for their children. Marriage to the victim's son. A major complication was Michaels was, at the time of the murder, legally married to the living with Jonathan Willett's son, Trevor Willett. So she married the guy's son, which is very strange. A strange thing in this plot. Marriage of convenience. Both Michaels and Deviate initially told police that their marriage was marriage of convenience for medical reasons and insurance purposes rather than immediate relationship. The defense is now challenging this claim in court with explicit text messages and photos. Alright, and over here we'll see this. So her husband is also the stepfather, and her kids and the brother of the kids. Yes, the familial relationship is, in this case, creates a complex dynamic. Alright, so it creates a strange dynamic. Alright, Jonathan Willett, who is the victim, was the biological father of Devin Michaels' 2 daughters. Alright. Okay, Trevor Willett, the son, is Jonathan Willett's son from another relationship. Alright. And Devin Michaels was married to Derev Willett at the time of the murder. So she married the man's son. Therefore, Derev Willett was the stepfather to Devin and Jonathan's children. He was the half-brother of those some children since they share the biological father, Jonathan himself. I guess there's a shortage of men in this world, LO. Right. Right. According to police reports, okay, some people in chat claim it was insurance, but I didn't really hear a motive from state, maybe jealousy. All right, this seems to be what the motives may be. All right. According to police reports and statements made by prosecutors, Devin Michaels provided 2 primary motives during her interviews with law enforcement, though she has since recanted or contested aspects of her confession. To remove him due to child custody issues, Michaels told police she hit Jonathan Willett and hurt him enough that he would have to go to the hospital so she could figure out what she could do with her children without him being present. That was one of them. Yeah, it looks like she wants to have her cake and eat it too. Yeah. In response to alleged abuse, Michaels claimed that on the night of the incident, Willett had been abusive to her and had tried to force her to perform a sexual act on him. She stated that she struck him in response to this while he was living. Well, he was not living, but lying face down, receiving a massage from her. Okay, thank you, Pash. According to defense, the victim wanted her back, so it's convoluted. Right. In the current trial, her defense attorney is arguing that she is innocent and that the true killer was the victim's son, Willett, who had his own motive related to anger over his wife, Michaels, leaving him from his father. Yeah, yeah. And as I said, her attorneys are the same attorneys that Tellis had. It's in the same courtroom where Tellis had his trial, and she was apparently, it seems to be, an ex of Baker. So this is a way to end the year. Yeah, she was with the father first, and then married his son. So I say he has a son with another woman, and then they split up, and then she gets with his son. It's wild. And she was massaging him, though, Rita, while married, and her husband, his son, is there too. It's nuts. Yes. Don't forget, they're all sleeping in the living room, too. So forget about privacy. Oh, it's like a slum. Like a, yeah, that's what it sounds like. Thanks, Pash, for the extra information. Yeah, it's cray cray. And you see her emotionally unstable in the trial. It looks like she lacks emotional control. Right there, yeah. Yeah, I also want to say to Pash, thank you so much for helping out in chat. Appreciate you. All right. Yes, based on online reports, public records, Michaels, who also goes by the name Tracy Travis, was previously married to Robert Baker. This connection has been noted as a wild coincidence in the true crime discussions because both individuals became involved in separate high-profile murder cases. Robert Baker is a convicted killer in the murder of renowned hairstylist Fabio Cementelli, Monica Cementelli's husband. Baker is currently serving life in sentence without possibility of parole for the 2017 killings. Michaels, aka Tracy Travis, is currently on trial for the 23 beheading and murder of her ex-boyfriend Jonathan Willett. Yeah, she was married. And let's see. Yes, I know what you're talking about. I believe that he mentioned this in the trial. I like chatting. You could thank me for doing things I don't enjoy, but then you'd be at my work. Oh, right. Okay, and I'll answer your question, G. I'll answer your question. Yeah, she was married to Robert Baker. Let's see. Yeah, you know, I think Baker is completely disgusting. He certainly corrupts people, indeed. You know, he has a lot of evil about him, and his evil rubs up on others. Divorced dad, married son. Wait, she divorced son, married dad when? Okay, this occurred. Let's see. When did she divorce the father? Let's see. Yeah, that's an error, G. That was an error that you saw. That has nothing to do with anything. Yeah, ignore what's on the screen. That's an error from the thing. Yeah, correct. That wasn't anything. All right. When did she divorce the father? All right. Devin Michaels and Jonathan Willett never married, so a divorce between them didn't take place. Okay. At the time, Jonathan Willett's murder was still legally married to his son. Okay, were they ever together at all? Okay, Posh is gonna explain. Okay, she had 2 kids with the dad before marrying the son. I don't know if she married the father though, too. She never married the father. Yeah, it's very confusing. Let's see. Yeah, the whole situation is a labyrinth of confusion, definitely. Shout out to Mayor Toodles. All right, and basically the underage person Robert Baker was with and his teenage stepdaughter, whom he later married after his release from prison. All right, and key details from the reported incident. In '93, Baker was convicted of statutory rape involving his 14-year-old teenage stepdaughter. After his release from prison for that conviction, he married the victim. The woman then reportedly entered the pornography industry doing the adult movies with Baker. This ex-wife is the same person known as Tracy Travis Michaels. So the woman that's the defendant is the same person that he molested, who is currently on trial for the murder of Jonathan Willett. So the person was his stepdaughter who became his wife as an adult following the crime committed when she was underage. All right, so the person that he raped is the defendant right now from this trial that we're watching, Michaels. All right, so that is the person in question, and then he later married her when she was an adult. So it's not the woman's daughter. The woman herself is the person that he was with. So yes, this was the person mentioned in the trial. It's the stepdaughter. All right. Right, right. So, and Robert Baker was convicted of this. So the stepdaughter, right? The stepdaughter is this defendant. So yes, to answer your question from earlier, it's the same person. Yeah, Pash says, "Goodness, as if that doesn't make things extra complicated. I need a family tree for everyone." Yes. Well, ChatGPT can't release the name, but Google did. Watch this. That's the wrong window. All right, you can read it for yourself right here. And this all could be alleged, but we're gonna read it again. You're welcome, G. It's very, very confusing. I'm still trying to wrap my head around this mind-boggling thing. All right, the underage person Robert Baker was with was his teenage stepdaughter, whom he later married after his release from prison. The names of both the stepdaughter and her mother have not been made public in a trustworthy source by ChatGPT. Okay, thank you, G. Key details from the reports indicate in '93, Robert Baker was convicted of statutory rape involving his 14-year-old teenage stepdaughter. After his release from prison for that conviction, he married the victim. The woman then reportedly entered the pornography industry doing adult movies with Baker. This ex-wife is the same person known as Michaels, or Tracy Travis, who is currently on trial for the murder of Jonathan Willett. Okay, let's see. This ex-wife. Now, I may have gotten something mixed up here, maybe, or let's see. So it says that this ex-wife is the same person known as Tracy Travis, who is currently on the trial for murder of Jonathan Willett. So, okay, so scratch out what I said before, that the person in the trial that we see is the ex-wife. Okay. She doesn't look much younger than him, though I thought she was like 25 years younger than Baker. And I'm going to put this in layman's terms to put the bow, wrap it up with the bow on top to clear this up, because don't want to cause any kind of more confusion than there already is. Okay, so her daughter, the one he married, is that right? Shout out to Bubbles. I'm glad you're interested in true crime. All right, so Robert Baker did not marry what's her name? Devin Michaels' biological daughter. He married Devin Michaels himself, who used to be the name Tracy Travis and other Alice's. Yeah, shout out to Bubbles. The underage person in the prior conviction was Baker's teenage stepdaughter from a different relationship. The woman he later married after this release was the same stepdaughter who became Michaels, or Tracy Travis. They were the same person. All right, so that is just kind of clear everything up. So that the person he married is her. All right. All right. So that is the answer. Oh, Lori said, I thought Bubbles was my neighbor cat begging for catnip at my back door. Right. Okay, so Baker is a really messed up person for doing this. And it's crazy to think about that we were talking about this person at the other trial, during the Cementelli trial. Now she's on trial for something. Dad treats, meow meow, yeah. Now meow. Alright, and yeah, this Baker's a real piece of work running families still. Yeah. Yeah. All right, and let's go here. And Bubbles likes to, he likes to talk sometimes, not necessarily with the food. He just he likes to talk. All right, let's see just to make sure. All right, so according to Google AI, and G said this is too confusing because it makes it sound like it's two different persons from different relationships. So he was with two young girls. Never mind, it's not worth it. I just can't believe some people we watch in these trials. All right, no. Okay, so this is the answer. No, it is one person. Devin Michaels, who has used several Alice's, including Tracy Travis. All right, so it's the same. It's not two different people. It's one person. All right, and Devin Michaels has used several Alice's, including Tracy Travis. Baker was at one point married to Devin Michaels' mother, which made Devin Michaels his stepdaughter. So the woman that's on trial was molested by Baker, okay? That's what happened. To put it in layman's terms. No, she looks very old. No, she does not look 20 years younger than Baker. No. Right. Right, so Baker molested her and then married her and put her in the prawn industry. So during the Monica Cementelli trial, when he was on the stand getting angry when she was mentioning, when the prosecution, when she was mentioning this woman that we saw the video of, he was getting very angry and furious at them mentioning her. So it's the person. Right, right. You know, it's passed on. As you could see, uh, Devin Michaels has used several Alice's, including Tracy Travis. Baker is at one point married to Michaels' mother. So the woman that we see here, her mom was married to Baker, which made Devin Michaels his stepdaughter. So the woman was the stepdaughter that Baker molested. And then this woman basically did the same thing that Baker did to her. Right. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, see the parallel. He married mom and daughter. Right. And a lot of times when people are abused, they repeat the abuse and they become the same thing that they were abused by. Yeah, marry the father and son, weird fetishes. Yes. How do we know if it's true? It's true because, and I'll say it's alleged, all right? It's alleged. Because earlier in the trial chats, people were mentioning this before, and I'm checking this out with Google, and it seems like it's correct based off of the different sources. Now, and I will say it's alleged until it could be completely proven without a shadow of a doubt for those that might be skeptical, but allegedly, this is the same woman that he went with. Right. So there we go. Oh, your thread cut off when you're watching openings. Yeah. Oh, yeah, because they took the video down because they were. Oh, gee, earlier in the stream they cut the original stream down because they were showing a a deek. They showed a deek on the screen. So that is what happened. That is what happened. So, yeah, they showed it on the screen, and it was only for 2 seconds, and they had to cut it off really quickly, and they took the stream down because they didn't blur it out, but they were showing the deke, a deke pic from trial evidence. Because then when they're doing the openings, yeah, during the openings they saw the deke, and everybody in the chat was like, "Whoa!" and making all kinds of. Moki was laughing, and everybody else was like, "Oh my goodness, ew." Yeah, they showed a free deke. State was providing defendant had sexual relationship with apparently required showing the sons naked in bed, excited. So yes, it was the son. So I will say this again. Allegedly, I'll say allegedly just for the for the sake of it. The defendant is the person that Baker molested when she was young, and Baker married the mother, and then went with this person on trial. And then this person got messed up too. They removed it, and it was only up for 2 seconds. Yeah, right on, Lori. No, this is in a different state. This is a different state. I think it's a different state, but we'll see. All right, it's highly unlikely Devin Michaels, Tracy, Travis will be in the same prison or was in the same prison as Monica Cimitelli. The two cases are in different states with different convictional systems. All right, Monica Cimitelli was tried and convicted in Los Angeles, California, and serving her sentence at Central California Women's Facility in Chowachilla, California. Okay, Bubbles, I'll come. Trial is taking place in Las Vegas, Nevada for crime committed in Henderson Valley. If convicted, she will be incarcerated in Nevada State Women's Prison Facility. No, she went to bed, Michael. The son watched it too, didn't she save his dad? OMG. There is no evidence that the victim's son, Drev Willett, watched the murder happen or failed to intervene. The prosecution stated in court that surveillance footage clearly rules out DeVuer from being near his father's home at the time of the murder. And Pash said, according to the state, surveillance doesn't put the son in the house at the time of the murder. Right. And thank you, Fifi, as well. All right, timeline of the events took place elsewhere. Devin Michaels was last person seen with Jonathan Willett around 10 p.m. the night before the body was found. Willett's mother discovered her son's body next to the morning around 8:40 a.m. Immediately called the police. Son was not at the home when the body was found. He was reportedly at his own home in Las Vegas. Defense is currently arguing that Drev is the true killer, citing the motive and access to potential weapons, power saws, as evidence, but the police investigation concluded he was not present at the time. And G said, wow, she's really going down. That's crazy. She could have taken 15, called it a day. Yeah. A third party who allegedly committed the murder, according to defense, is the current trial of Devin Michaels is the victim's son, Driver Willett. Yeah, Baker gets around. Yeah. Hello, Caraville. Good to see you, buddy. Welcome. Oh, the 911 call was Yoko. She sounded so unconcerned. That's interesting. Are we sure it was her that we heard? That's a good question. A good question. And because she certainly is emotionally frantic, unless she's a good actress that can fake things, that's a good speculation that the emotions are not matching the patterns. They say Yoko language barrier. G said, I mean, if the son wasn't there and she was alone with him, she's not going to be able to spin it. Yeah. All right, during the opening statements, November 5, 25, defense attorney Robert Drakovich told the jury to look for the motivations and find her not guilty. Defense theory derives involvement is motive. Derev was allegedly angry because his father was not only taking his home, but taking his wife, Devin Michaels, and Michaels was messaging D about a divorce short before the murder occurred. Yoko said she couldn't tell where the blood was coming from, but didn't even see that he didn't have a head attached to his body. Okay. Thanks, Michael. Access to tools. Defense pointed out that the son was at the home security system technician and has access to potential weapons like power saws, which could have been used in the crime. Prosecution, however, maintains that Michaels is the sole killer and stated that surveillance footage clearly rules out derived from being near the crime scene at the time of the murder. The son has not been charged in connection to the case. All right, we're going to go here. All right, according to this, no, it's not possible. The head was already missing when the 911 call was made and when the first responders arrived. Here's a sequence of events based on police reports. Here is a sequence of events based on police reports. Discovery of the body. Jonathan Willett's mother found his body in his bed just before 9 a.m. August 7, 2023. The body was wrapped in blankets. The body and next to the bottles of chemicals. The 911 call. The mother immediately called 911 to report the findings of her son's body. Police arrival. The officers arrived shortly after the call. Observations. The arrest reports stated that Willett's head had been severed from his body and was not observed to be in the room when the officers arrived. The police investigation concluded that Devin Michaels has already removed the head from a crime scene and driven it to her own home in Las Vegas to dispose of it in the trash before the body was discovered by the mother. Alright, Posh said that Google wouldn't know that. She said the face was missing on the phone and there was no head when they arrived. Ask Google what the time delay between the call and response was. Okay. As I said, it is Google, so it may not know certain things. Alright, so let's see what it says. Alright, right here. Let's ask Google this. All right, the exact time delay between 911 call and the arrival of the first police responders is not specified in the public reports. There you go. However, reports of 5 specific times of events, like generally before 9 a.m. or 8 a.m. So, yeah, Shaza is right. The exact time delay between 911 call and the arrival of the first responders is not specified in the public reports. So it wouldn't know certain things of certain tiny details like that. Thank you, Shaza. All right, and his body was found when the next day or week later. Let's see this part. Oh, okay. Thank you, Shaza. She says, I never heard of a week delay between a murder and a call. They were sleeping in the same house. It says that Jonathan Willett's body was found the next day. He was last seen alive around 10 p.m. on August 6, 23. So it was a day. Alright, so he was last seen alive around 10 p.m. at the night of August 6, 23 by his mother while he was with Devin Michaels. His headless body was then discovered by his mother the following morning on August 7, 2023, around 8:40 a.m. Yeah, gee, this is certainly a mystery, a rabbit hole, indeed. Posh said Yoko was the biological mother of the victim's son. The defendant ended up marrying. They were all in the same house. It was messy. Okay. So to make it clear, everybody lived in the same place, and lived in the same quarters. So there is no talk about no privacy. Yes, careful. It's like a prequel. All right, let's see. What are the legal challenges in the prosecuting murder case without the head? All right, in the murder case where a crucial body part like the head is missing, the prosecution faces several key legal and evidentiary challenges. Okay, providing corpus delicti, no, del ICT. The legal principle requires independent evidence that a crime has actually occurred before the defendant's confession of admission can be fully relied upon. While the rest of the body provides strong evidence of death, deletion, defense might argue the exact cause of death is determined without the head, which could contain vital forensic evidence. G said, yes, the lady Baker's underage girl he raped married the mom and daughter, and now the woman married the father and son. You can make this crap up, yeah. Establishing the cause of death. The head provides critical information for medical examiners, such as petty child hemorrhage evidence is strangulation, blunt force trauma, and face head area. Without it, determining the definitive cause becomes more challenging, potentially allowing the defense to argue death could have been natural or accidental. Yeah, definitely could have pleaded insanity. Yeah. Reliance on circumstantial evidence. Without direct physical evidence from the missing part of the body, the prosecution must rely heavily on circumstantial evidence, motive, opportunity, behavior, digital records, and forensic evidence like DNA, blood, spatter, or fibers found elsewhere to build a compelling case. This opens the door for defense to argue that the evidence is open for interpretation and creates reasonable doubt. Challenging confessions. The defense can more aggressively challenge the reliability of voluntariness and confessions or admissions made by the defendant if there is no corroborating physical evidence to back them up. Defense went hard on her lover, victim's son, as the lead potential suspect, with jealous lover as his motive, using statements from his grand jury deposition back up his claims. Oh, the defense opening was goofy. I mean, people may have liked it, I think. I don't know. It just, some people thought that it was unnecessary where he was talking about Leo Tolstoy and Benjamin Franklin, and he made like a big story out of it. It was interesting to watch, I'll say. It was interesting. And everybody in chat was like really like mentioning these irrelevant things. But yeah, they do what they got to do though to defend their client. I ain't judging, but I could see where that was kind of like a unexpected thing people saw. All right, challenging confessions. The defense more aggressively challenged the reliability of the Sorry, okay, I read that. Defense arguments for innocence. The defense likely used absence of the head to its advantage, arguing the prosecution cannot prove the entire narrative of events beyond reasonable doubt. They can introduce alternative theories of how the victim died or the perpetrator, happening Michael's case, suggesting that missing evidence hides the truth rather than confirming the prosecution story. It's the mother of the person that was murdered, I think. I want to make sure. Leave it to Baker to ruin everyone's life. Yeah. No, that's not true. That's the wrong... Ignore that. This case. The victim's mother. Okay, so the victim's mother is the case. Yeah, so... Alright, Yoko Willett is the mother of Jonathan Willett, the victim, and Ken Willett. She also is the stepmother of Valerie Rivera's children and grandmother of Jonathan's two young daughters. Yeah, that's the most famous Yoko. Okay, yeah. It was Yoko Willett who discovered her son's headless body in his bed in the morning of August 7, 23.
plastic bottles in your bed and throw them at your head.
Nice.
Yeah, you're gonna have to start helping out a little bit. You're not even throwing your own garbage away.
I am.
No, you're not.
Yeah.
You won't do the bottles. You just won't do them.
All right.
You will not do them. Had to go out at 9:30 at night and put them out.
All right. So anyway,
Troll.
okay. So I'm off. Okay, I'm off. She's the mother of the victim. Now I get redo my tree. Yes. Hush now, I am going to backwards. The victim was the father, assuming he's 50. This Yoko must be 70s. Good evening, Danielle. Welcome to the stream. Oh no, everything's fine. Everything's fine, chat. And thank you, Posh, for the advice. Thank you. And she said, I am okay about how are you? Alright, let's see. It was nice chatting with you all. Time to head to bed. See you all tomorrow. Okay, Rita. Good night to you. Alright, and yes, so Yoko Willett is the mother of Jonathan Willett, victim, and Kim Willett. She's also the stepmother, Valerie Rivera children, and the grandmother, Jonathan's 2 young daughters. Alright, and let's see here. Upon the discovery of her son's headless body in August 7, 2023, Yoko Willett immediately called 911 to report the crime. After Henderson's police, she provided them with information, including that her son was last seen with his ex-girlfriend, Michaels, and that she had seen Michaels in the kitchen cleaning dishes around 1 a.m., despite Michaels saying her son was asleep. Oh, it's all good, Pash. Shaza. It's all good. Okay, got that. Yes, it's the beheaded case. That is true. Alright, so part 1 is still not up. Okay. See more info on the mother if possible. Okay, and let's see here. In the context of this case, Yoko Willett is the biological mother of the victim, Jonathan Willett. She also is the mother of Jonathan's brother, Ken Willett. A GoFundMe page is set up for the family after the murder mentions that Jonathan leaves behind his mother, Yoko, and brother Ken, and stepmother, Valerie. You're just recapping on that trial. Okay. Brother Ken and stepmother Valerie, and Yoko Willett lived in the same home in Henderson as her son Jonathan, and she was the person who found his headless body in the bed in the morning, occurred, and called police. Alright, and Pash says, I'd still consider her accountable for murder even with the Baker story attached. Yeah, I agree. I agree. And there's certainly a pattern of behavior that is consistent and within this. Right. That discussed the defense openings. We were going to rewatch the defense openings. We did discuss the defense and their position. So yes, in a way we did. But we didn't go over the defense. We didn't go over the defense video because it wasn't up. But we did talk about what the defense said. In a way, yeah. Yeah, this is day one. We just experienced. Yeah, so it's day one. And he has the zoomies. That's nice. Alright, and so consider her accountable. So yeah, that's some more additional information about the mother in the case. Alright, let's see. You'll check it out later. Oh, Danielle, they took the original one down because there was a deek that was shown, so they had to take it off the... They haven't re-uploaded it. Alright. Yeah, Bose was meowing, and I petted him, and I gave him food, whatever he needed, so... That was... You know, that's what we did just now, right? And... Yes, and Yoko Willett saw the note, several others unusual occurrences around the time of the murder, which later reported to the police. Right. Michael's in the kitchen late night. Yoko last saw her son around 10 p.m. with Devin Michaels. Later, at around 1 a.m., Yoko saw Michaels in the kitchen doing dishes. Michaels told Yoko that Jonathan was already asleep in bed because he had been drinking and smoking marijuana earlier that evening. Unusual outdoor conditions. The next morning, the next day, before finding the body, Yoko noticed the dogs were in the backyard and the doggy door was closed, which she found unusual. Alright, garage door is ajar. She also noted that the interior garage door was open and the main garage door was slightly ajar, which was out of the ordinary household. Willett's truck present, she surprised to see Jonathan's truck still parked outside when he should have already left with the children for school registering that morning. Missing meat cleaver. The day finding the body, Yoko called the police again, informed them that the meat cleaver was missing from the kitchen. Oh, Michael, that's wild. Wow. Deke pics to confirm sexual relationship with her stepson, whom she married. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Part 1 isn't up yet. Okay, she wrote that. Okay. Wow, Michael. Alright. Okay, we're all caught up. Okay, thank you, chat. Right. Yeah, that's funny, G. Yeah, so this is a wild trial, indeed. Hash said, they said it was most likely a saw type of tool that removed the head, not a cleaver. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Picture of Devern laying on the bed. Was full upright in locked position. Okay. Yes, scared. It was pointed to the ceiling. Right. The has no relevance to murder. Right. Yeah, very good points, chat. Absolutely. Very, very good points. Indeed. Okay. And let's see here. Yeah, and tomorrow it'll be part 2. It'll be part 2 for tomorrow. Okay. See, it's because they said marriage was sexual and it was business. Yeah. So it's a really messed up case with the history with Baker and this murder and the family relations are very strange. So yeah, this is the most interesting case of the year so far. Whole thing is wild indeed. Yeah. And I'll continue to make commentary about the trial as it continues. And we'll see different evidence and proof, and we'll discuss it here as usual. All right. I think we covered everything about this first part. Okay, G. Good night to you. Thank you for hanging out with us. Luckily, it starts like 2 p.m., 11 a.m. Nevada time, because I am tired. Yes, it is good. It is good for that. Absolutely. All right. Let's see. Night, my starlight, my sunshine, my sapphire ocean, into my G of all the sapphires and diamonds. Good night to you. Goddess of diamonds. All right. So take care. Yes. You'll see her again. All right. All right. We covered everything that we need to cover for tonight. Let's see. We did it all. I'm gonna switch. We could end it now. Switch over here. Okay, let's see. Going over to this window, and good night to GSI. Thought he left, but he didn't, and she's waving to everybody. Yeah. You're welcome, Lori. All right, so we have completed talking about. Yeah, everyone's leaving. It seems. Yeah. I said the reason why we're ending the stream is we covered everything about the review about the trial we watched today. All right, it's complete. So I was listening while Deep dove into Baker Michael's X thing. Oh, okay. Thanks, Kerbal. All right, so good night, everybody. Thank you all for coming, and Shaza and Fifi, all the new people. I appreciate y'all coming to the spaceship. I'm thankful for the commentary. And see you all tomorrow at some point, and see this works. Peace. That works? Okay, good. Alright, now it is done. Okay, not that window, but this window. That's